16-year-old Nicole Ambrosini and her 20-year-old boyfriend Moses Cruz claim exotic dancer Lisette Hernandez owes them a refund on a condo.
You folks were living in the same hotel that the defendant was living in temporarily. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that where you became friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Well, we didn't become friends there. We became friends at work.
Okay. Don't tell. And there came a time when you were going to buy a condo. Is that right?
Yes.
And you approached the defendants to see if they wanted to rent a room in your condo that you were purchasing.
Exactly.
According to these papers, you said yes?
Yes.
And you needed some money.
Exactly.
How much money did you need?
$700.
And as sort of a down payment on their room, you gave her the $700?
Correction, Your Honor, that was $750. I have 2 contracts here signing. I had to pay a $500 first month and a $250 security deposit.
Okay, can I see what you have there,
Yes,
please?
ma'am. These are 2 pieces of evidence that I have, 2 contracts that Lisette signed herself.
Okay, fine. So let's assume it was $750. This is some contract.
I was in a rush, Your Honor. Grabbed the first thing I could. Next one's better.
Okay. And then, for some reason, which I'm sure that you will tell me, you decided not to move into the condo, and she gave you back $100, according to these papers. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
And you want the other $650.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was dancing with me. We were both dancers.
No. I'm sorry, I'm 16
And I made
years old.
$3,000.
I'm 16 years old.
I made $3,000 and she know that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Nicole Ambrosini and her 20-year-old boyfriend Moses Cruz want the money back on a condo from exotic dancer Lisette Hernandez. Lisette says they moved out without giving notice.
Well, there came a time, I gather from these papers, that you moved out of the hotel but did not move right into the condo.
Right, Your Honor.
Where did you move?
Okay, at that time, we needed
This
a
is
place...
your boyfriend?
Yes, this is my boyfriend, Moses. We were looking for another location to live while we were waiting for the condo. We were going to just stay in the hotel. It was very expensive, so Lisette kindly offered us to stay in her boyfriend's house and pay $100 a week. We did that, and we stayed there for about 2 to 3 weeks, I believe, and we paid him for every week. At that time, we were told that she needed the money immediately, and we gave that money to her within 3 days because she had said she had a closing to meet. And it would
Closing on the condo.
Yes.
I understand that.
She said it would be about a month to get it, okay? So in our minds, we're thinking, okay, we only have to tough this out for about a month. We wound up not getting a condo or not moving into a place for 3 months. We were waiting to move in for 3 months.
3 months.
Just a minute.
For 3 months, Your Honor.
Did you stay in the boyfriend's house for 3 months?
Yes. No, we did not. We stayed in the boyfriend's house for about 3 weeks. The other times we were staying at the hotel, and then my father was moving out of his apartment, and he was moving out half of the month early. So
you moved someplace else.
Yes.
Right.
But there came a time when you ultimately said to her, I don't want to move
Yes.
in.
Right.
And when was that?
That was in, I guess, February, March, April.
How
in
much
April.
after you had left the hotel and moved into the boyfriend's house did you tell her, I want my money back, I don't want to move in?
About a month. Your
About
Honor.
a
That's a
month.
lie.
Okay, you tell me.
That's a lie. It was 1 day. Okay, this is what happened. When they moved into the apartment with my boyfriend, with me and my boyfriend, they was paying $100 a week,
You're
which
clicking.
is true. Okay, now, when they was moving out, I didn't know they was moving out. My boyfriend tells me one day, Lisette, do you know that they moving out? I said, what? He said, yeah, they moving out. I said, no, I don't know nothing about it. He said, well, I'm getting ready to leave, so when I leave, you talk to them and ask them. When I came to you and asked her, I said, Nicole, y'all moving out? She said, yeah, we moving out. My father left me. Wait a minute. My father left me. My father left me an apartment, and I'm going to move into it, and we're going to keep paying the rent there or whatever to stay there. I said to her, so what do you expect me to do? You expect me to take the money right now and just give it to you when I don't have it? You know I'm trying to get this condominium, and I don't have the money right now to give to you. Okay, but before that happened, one day we had went out, or we was working or whatever. She was waitressing, and I was working in the place where we was working at. I made $4,000 that day, and I said to Nicole, I said, here, you know, I gave her like $1,200 to help help her out or whatever. I never asked her for the money back. I never said nothing to her.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Your Honor,
That's exactly what it was, $1,200.
Miss Hernandez, I'm going to simplify this. I've just, while you've been telling me this whole story, been looking at these two papers. These two papers, I assume that you recall signing. Is that right?
Right, and I agreed to pay her back the money. I did.
Okay, so
And I told her that I would pay for it as soon as I'd be able to get the money.
You signed the contract. So you owe her the money.
Right.
How much did you pay her back?
$100.
So you owe her $650.
Right, but she moved to Texas. But how did she expect me? I live in Florida. She lives, hold up. She gave me an address and expects me to make her money order every week and send her $50.
She said she would do that.
Stamp and everything.
Moses.
I said to her, let me finish.
sorry,
They said they
Moses.
will come back to they was moving back to Florida, whatever.
Miss Hernandez.
She said that.
Moses.
Moses.
You got to train him better.
I try, Your Honor. I
You
try.
got to try harder. If you don't do it now, it'll be too late. Do you understand?
Yes.
They get into bad habits.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Miss Hernandez, you owe her the $650.
Right.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $650.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I wanted to make this easier for you, but in that time that I was struggling, trying to get money back, broke, Lisette wasn't paying us, my mother, who is a witness here today, sent me $300. I was living independently at the time.
What are you lecturing about?
Exactly.
Just a second. What are you lecturing about? You sued for $650.
That's
I
all I
gave
owe
you $650.
Okay.
Say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nerves.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next
Kessler versus Fields. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Scott Kessler says his life partner, Lytton Fields, ran him over with a car during a lover's quarrel. Since the fight, the two have split up. Now, Scott is suing to recover his medical expenses.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 188 on the calendar in the matter of Kessler versus Fields. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
You two gentlemen had some beaut of a fight. And according to you, Mr. Kessler, you were assaulted by Mr. Fields' car, and he almost ran you over, causing you some serious injury. According to Mr. Fields, you assaulted his car, causing damage to his car. So why don't you tell me, gentlemen, how this argument got started?
Basically, to the best of my recollection, I came home for lunch. I had a job offer to move to Dallas. Both of us...
Were you living together at the time?
We were. I came home, took an extended lunch, and we weren't getting along.
Here.
We weren't getting along for some reason. We had a fight. I don't recall exactly what it was. He didn't want to talk about it. He left. I got upset. Didn't want him to leave. Asked him not to walk out on me, and he got in his car, started the engine. I got upset as he started to back out, and I did kick his car. A stupid thing to do, but I did. As he backed out of the driveway, he pulled across the street, backed up into the driveway, and put his car forward and slammed into the back of my car, which is parked parallel in front of my house in the street.
Okay, so let me understand this. You kicked his car.
Yes, ma'am.
He backed out his car and hit your car with his car.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
Just before he had backed out, a police officer had driven by, and after he smashed into the back of my car, I ran out to flag the officer down. I was standing behind my car when I got out to the street. It happened very quick. The next thing I knew, I was on his hood, and he sped up.
Just a minute. You didn't fly on his hood.
No, he hit me
He hit you
with his car.
from the front?
Yes.
Go ahead.
After I was on his hood, he sped up and was going down the street, and I
With you
was-
on the hood of the car?
With me on the hood of his car. I was holding on to his windshield wipers to not be thrown off. When I realized what was going on, I got very angry, and I did tear the left windshield wiper off. When I did that,
Well, that was sort of foolish, sir, because according to you, you were holding on for dear life to these two windshield wipers. One would have thought that you would have held on to them and not broken off your last link to safety. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mr.
I do
Kessler.
not recall what was going through my mind. It just happened so fast.
Well, what usually goes through your mind when you're in a situation that is very dangerous is how to best protect myself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The best way for you to protect yourself at that moment was to hold on for dear life to the only two things that you could grab hold of, which were the two windshield wipers. Not to break one off and throw it away. Then you're holding on with one hand. Right, Mr. Kessler?
Yes, ma'am. I did grab onto his hood after, you know, the top part of the hood, and I was holding onto that. And
How do you hold on to the top part of a hood that's closed?
Underneath, you can grab onto it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't recall. This part happened so fast, I don't recall.
Okay.
But I was
you
still
do
holding
remember
on.
that you pulled off his windshield
Yes,
wiper?
and I was still holding onto the right windshield wiper, and I must have had my hand somewhere where I didn't. I was still on the hood of the car. He slammed on his brakes. When he did so, the right windshield wiper came off in my hands because I had a firm grip on that windshield wiper. I flew back, landed on my back, hit my head. The next thing I know, the bumper was somewhere up here above my head. It happened really quick. He threw the car in reverse, started going backwards. I felt, you know, pain in my back and in my head at that point, and I screamed. I threw the windshield wiper at his car. It hit his windshield and shattered it. And after that happened, I heard a car coming up behind me. I tried to stand up, and I couldn't. The police officer asked me what happened. I said, I don't know, we had a fight. He went nuts. He's slamming into my car. Please stop him. Basically, I was able to get up, and I hopped on my left foot back to my car. That's when I realized something was wrong. I didn't know my leg was broken or my ankle was broken or what was wrong with it. That's basically it.
Now, do you want to hear the truth?
Well, I'll hear your side of the story, sir, and then I'll decide who's telling the truth.
What happened was, he came home for lunch. I was getting ready to leave. My car was ready and running. Came home to explain the transfer to Dallas, whatever. I explained to him that I thought it was a great opportunity, that he should do it, that he should go ahead and go down there. It would take me at least a couple months to get all my things organized. He took it as it was a final decision of a breakup, whatever. Then we led into an argument. It had been going for about an hour. I had to leave. I was late. So I went, got in my car. He was still irritated, mad, whatever you want to say. Followed me out to my car, still screaming at me. Then that's when he kicked the door. I backed out, was starting to back out. He kicked the door again. I pulled out into the street. At that point, I felt that I had taken way too much of his crap before and after and during that situation. So I proceeded to run into the back end of his car. As soon as I was done with that, I was done and over with it. I started to back up, pull away. He stood in front of my car, would not let me leave, so I kept inching the car forward. He jumped on the hood, grabbed both of my windshield wipers, and started proceeding to, like, rip them off. So I did take the car up to about getting ready to go into third gear.
What does that mean, third gear?
30 miles an hour, so went a good couple blocks. And decided to slam on my brakes.
Mr. Fields.
Well,
not smart.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Then that's when he went flying off with both windshield wipers in hand. I figured it was done, over with. I was out of it. He then proceeded to stand up with windshield wiper in hand and slammed the windshield wiper into my windshield, busted it. I have the receipt for the windshield. When he did that, that's when I said, okay, enough's enough. You want to play this game? We'll play this game further.
Sounds like the War of the Roses to me. It's a good thing there wasn't a chandelier around. Woo!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We did get into screaming matches quite frequently because it gets a little old when you're living with somebody who refuses to talk to you.
And later today,
he didn't follow instructions. He had a lot of conceit for his work, and I don't like green eggs and ham, Sam, I am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Litton Fields admits he was extremely angry at his lover, 29-year-old Scott Kessler. Litton claims running him over in his car was an accident and doesn't feel he should pay for Scott's medical expenses.
Were you a witness to this thing?
No, ma'am. I'm just here because he can't do anything with his ankle.
If he can't do something on his ankle, he'll tell me.
Yeah.
You're not a physician, are you?
No.
Can you do anything on your ankle?
The only activity I can still do is snow ski with some pain. The boot holds my ankle together.
Is it your right ankle or your left?
It's my right ankle.
Your right ankle. Is that the same foot that you kicked his car with?
Yes.
Twice?
Yes.
Listen, gentlemen, clearly, based upon what you both told me, you cared about each other for a long time. You lived together. What I don't understand, Mr. Fields, is your reaction in taking this car up to 30 miles an hour with him on the hood. Let me tell you why I don't understand that. We all lose our tempers. Clearly, you both lost your temper, because I think that somewhere in the middle of what you both told me is the truth. You can replace a windshield, you can replace a dent to your car, you can replace him going into your car, because sometimes people, when they're hot, they do those things to other people's property, even people that they care about. But the physical part of it, the accelerating your car to 30 miles an hour and then slamming on the brakes, not smart.
I agree.
Now, Mr. Kessler, you started it. You understand that?
I made the first stupid move, yes, ma'am. I do have records from my doctor, signed statements that show, and I have pictures, that I have bumper impaction contusions on both of my legs where I was struck by the bumper. I was hit by the car.
I don't doubt that you hurt yourself.
And my ankle was completely crushed when the tire ran over it.
Could I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Ankle looks pretty bad. Have you seen these photographs?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'd like you to take a look at them, Mr. Fields.
I do have a signed doctor's statement stating that I was struck by a car. It was obviously that I was struck by a car.
Sir, statements from a professional witness can tell me that you had a broken tibia, that you had this or that, but a doctor can't tell me how it happened, because that is a judicial determination made after hearing evidence. I mean, there's no question that you were injured. What were your medical bills, and were any of them uncovered?
My medical bills were in excess of $10,000
How much
to
were
reconstruct
covered?
my ankle. I believe about 7,000 of them were covered by my insurance.
What do you mean you believe? Don't you have the bills there, sir?
I do have a lot of bills. Between the insurance company and the lawyer that I hired at first, I did not get all my paperwork back from him.
Well, I can't even consider, sir, your application for certain medical bills without a clear figure about what medical bills were left uncovered.
Well, I have statements here showing...
Mr. Kessler, when you come to court, you're supposed to be prepared, sir.
I have a statement here for several bills that are showing what is owed by me. Apparently, they are more than what I expected. I still have continuing medical bills to this day. I have another surgery I have to schedule for next month, which will not be covered because it's a pre-existing injury.
Mr. Kessler, I can't give you anticipatory damages, sir. Do you have a figure for me of what your unreimbursed medical bills are to date, sir?
Unfortunately, I have outlines of bills here that I received from my attorney. He refused to return any of the other paperwork to me. I do have future medical bills. I have records here that state that I am going to need another surgery.
I cannot, as I told you, Mr. Kessler, give you anticipatory damages. I've already told you that.
Okay.
Mr. Kessler, so is the bottom line, sir, is you do not know exactly...
What I'm suing for mainly is besides medical bills, is loss of enjoyment of life. I cannot run, jump, I cannot water ski, I cannot do anything anymore. I never will the rest of my life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That I jumped on his car, that's absolutely ridiculous. There is no way I jumped on his car. His car hit me.
And later today...
In this case, he loves that caricature because it was taken 20 years ago. That's probably the last time he looked good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott Kessler is suing his former lover, Lytton Fields, after a lover's quarrel turned violent. The judge is ready to rule.
Mr. Kessler, I do not excuse what he did. This was a terrible argument. I believe that you were at least partially responsible because you jumped on the hood of his car. You jumped on the hood of his car and you grabbed his windshield wipers. You placed yourself in harm's way. That does not excuse him from doing what he did, which was accelerate the car and then stop short. This wasn't a case where you were crossing the street and you were hit by his car. I am not giving you any money, sir, for lack of enjoyment of your life. You are partially responsible for what happened to you. He is going to pay your unreimbursed medical bills to date. If you do not have those unreimbursed medical bills to date, sir, I cannot order any money on your behalf. Wait until you have your second surgery and sue him again. Do you want to do that so that you've done it on all in one ball of wax? I'm more than happy to allow you to withdraw this proceeding without prejudice to you refiling when you have accumulated all of your medical bills. Unreimbursed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. The only thing that I have to say as far as jumping on his car is I do have, there's no way I could have jumped on his car.
I believe that that's exactly what happened, sir.
I have pictures proving that I have bruises below my knee.
Listen to me, sir. I don't know when the bruises came about. I don't know when they came about, when you fell off, when you jumped on. Mr. Kessler, that's my finding, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to make an award based upon nothing more than conjecture in your original statement that you had approximately $3,000 in unreimbursed medical bills, and I'm telling you right now I'm not going to give you the $3,000, or do you want to withdraw this proceeding without prejudice to having it renewed when you have your next surgery, and then you can get all of your bills together? What do you want to do, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I will do that then.
Fine. This matter is marked withdrawn without prejudice. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'll back door to your right, please.
Much more nasty now. It gets a little old when you're living with somebody who refuses to talk to you, doesn't give you any reason why he won't talk to you. None of your friends can stand him, because my own family, when he came out to visit, could not believe that I was seeing somebody with his attitude.
And now the next case.
Parties on Lane versus Tynan. Step forward, please.
Los Angeles artist Jack Lane claims he was contracted to draw a caricature of 45-year-old Dan Tynan, but he never paid him for it.
Mr. Lane, you are an artist.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you were commissioned by the defendant to do a caricature of him
Yes.
for a Rotary Club. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did the caricature.
Yes.
Do you have it?
Yes, I do.
And you sent it to him, and he didn't pay you for it.
That's right, Your Honor.
Why?
Your Honor, he had sent me the caricature, or he had solicited me to draw a caricature for my demotion party.
Tell me what a demotion party is.
Demotion party is at the end of my presidency in my service club. We have a party at the end of the year. At that party, we usually get some form of gift. He had done this for other clubs, and he had solicited me saying, can I do this for your club? I said, come to my office. I made an appointment. He came to my office. And at that time, I showed him a caricature that I keep on my wall, Your Honor. And I instructed him that this is the caricature that I wanted, something like this with a couple of exceptions. The exceptions were to put my logo on the cap and to put something else in my hand other than a hot dog, like a hammer or a gavel or something. Then he proceeded to draw.
Well, did he do it in front of you, sir? Did he do the drawing while you were sitting in your office?
No, we went outside into the parking lot, and he continued to draw. After he drew, he showed me the drawing, and it was nothing like this. It was something that he draws himself, more of a portrait than a caricature. I said that that is still not what I had drawn, that I had with the changes. He said he was going to go back, ink the difference or ink something, and that he would mail it to me.
Okay, so he went home and he drew this?
He went home, he drew that, sent it to me. That was not the cartoon.
Just a second. You sent it to him?
Yes.
When did you send it to him, sir?
I billed him and sent it to him 5/1.
May 1st?
Yes.
And you received it when, sir?
Somewhere mid-May.
Let's say you received it the beginning of the second week in May.
Very good.
What did you do with it?
Once I saw the caricature, I knew that I would not use it for my demotion party because it wasn't what I had commissioned or what I had asked for. When he sent the second billing request, I packaged it and mailed it back to him.
When did he send the second billing request?
July, I believe.
And your demotion party was in June?
In June, yeah, late June.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're going to pay this bill, sir, and I'm going to tell you why. Very simple. I would have complete sympathy for your position if when you received this in May, beginning of the second week in May, before your demotion party, you put it back in the envelope and you sent it back to this gentleman and you said, this is not what I bargained for. I'm not interested in it. If you want another opportunity to do what I did in fact commission, because this quite frankly is an adorable caricature, absolutely adorable, but it's not exactly what I want. It doesn't have a gavel in the hand and I don't like the logo, because those were the two things that you complained about.
Yes.
Right? So it would be very easy for him to put a gavel in your hand and to change the logo. You didn't give him an opportunity to do that. You didn't even have the common courtesy to respond to his first billing. You waited until July, 2 months later, and then you packed it up and sent it back to him. That's bad form. He just bought himself a caricature. Give it to him.
Your Honor.
Mr. Lane, you won.
Yeah.
$92.01 to the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Can't ask for better than that.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the
Pendleton versus Lehman. Step forward, please.
28-year-old Portia Pendleton says her former friend, Jerry Lehman, asked if he could take topless photos of her on his Harley-Davidson in exchange for a modeling fee. Portia claims she did the topless photo shoot, but Jerry never paid her the money he promised.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Judges number 195 on the calendar in the matter of Pendleton versus Lehman. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
All right, Miss Pendleton, you say Mr. Lehman owes you $1,200 for something about a photo shoot, negatives, and a Harley motorcycle. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
I found it rather difficult to follow the flow of your complaint, so why don't you tell me about this photo shoot first?
Okay, well, basically, in June of 1996, Mr. Lehman approached me with a business opportunity. He told me that...
How did you know Mr. Lehman so that he could approach you?
Oh, he approached me at the bar and restaurant that I worked with. He'd been coming in there for approximately 2 years, and I've gotten to know him over that period of time. So in June, Mr. Lehman approached me. He stated that his motorcycle was going to be published in a magazine on the parts, the custom work he does on Harleys, and he needed a model to model with his motorcycle. He told me that the magazine that it was going to be published for was called Easy Rider. It was a biker magazine, and the pictures detailed, bikini, and some of them were going to be topless. And, I checked them out. They were a little cheesy, but not really bad. And I went ahead and I bought a copy of the magazine and the type of pictures that I was told I was going to be taken. At that point in time, I told Mr. Lehman I'd be interested in doing it. I was told that it would cost, I would be paid $1,200 if I did my own hair and makeup, and he would take the pictures.
So what you're saying is he said that he would pay you $1,200 to do the photo shoot?
Yes.
That's totally incorrect.
So, at that point in time, I went down to a shop probably in the middle of October, and we went ahead and took 2.5 rolls of film. I told Mr. Lehman that, one, I wanted the set closed because I didn't want a whole bunch of people, lagging about, around. And the second thing is that once we were done with the shoot, that I get the negatives and the pictures back of the pictures that he wasn't going to use, because I just didn't want them, floating all over the place. The only reason that I didn't get an agreement, a contract with Mr. Lehman is because I've known him for 2 years. I considered him a friend, and I thought I could trust him. If I would have known that it would come to this point, I would have had him go through my agency to get me to take these pictures. I have my portfolio book here with the type of shots that I normally do.
Not interested.
Okay.
I assume from the fact that you have a portfolio, and you said something about your agency, that you are really a model and you work in this restaurant that you work in sort of to make money.
Part-time. Yeah,
part-time.
Try to.
In between modeling jobs. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you have a modeling job, you do the shoot and you get paid.
You do get paid, but it's a billing process. The agent bills the client, and you get it within 30 days.
Right. Now you're not dealing with an agent.
Yes.
You're dealing with a friend.
Yes.
So you do the shoot. Did you say to him, give me my money?
No, I expected that it would take between 2 to 3 weeks after it was published.
Why after it was published? When you do a magazine or a photo shoot, you do it and they may publish it 6 months later. They may never publish it, but you get your money.
Well, because that's what Mr. Lehman had told me.
What did he tell you?
He told me that after I took the pictures, the magazine normally takes between 2 to 3 weeks to go ahead and pay. And that's what he was going to give the money for.
Something doesn't sound right there to me. You're not waiting for the magazine, Miss Pendleton, to publish your pictures. You don't give a rat's behind whether the magazine publishes your pictures or not.
No, that's true.
Right? You were doing the photo shoot for him.
Yeah.
Unless your arrangement with him was that you only got paid if the magazine bought the pictures.
Correct.
That's what he says in his answer. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
But he was saying that he was going to wait and give me the money until after he received the pictures were published. That's what he told me.
You can look at me with those gorgeous brown eyes all you like, Miss Pendleton, but I'm telling you, if you're in the business, you know that a magazine could say, I'm not publishing this picture, I don't like this lady, I don't like what she looks like, I don't like the bathing suit, I don't like her hair, I don't like her figure, I don't like her face, and I'm not going to publish the picture.
Yeah.
Right? So unless your agreement with Mr. Lehman was that you got paid if they selected your picture, your conversations with him about waiting until after the magazine was published doesn't make sense.
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to introduce a witness because Mr. Lehman had stated the conversation with another individual.
Oh, I will hear your witness. And your name?
Stacy Kirsten.
Who are you?
I used to work with Porsche at this bar and restaurant many months ago. And I met Jerry because he used to come in there once in a while, and he introduced himself to me with a business opportunity, which never really came to be, but he told me that he had done these pictures with her and that they were published, and he told me, quote unquote, he got a very good sum of money for the pictures.
Were the pictures ever published, sir?
No, ma'am.
So that you were just pulling this lady's leg?
I never told her that.
What'd you tell her?
I haven't never discussed Porsche's business with this woman. They are friends. I have met her. I have talked to her on occasions. I have never discussed any business with her at all.
Are you a photographer or a biker?
A biker, not a photographer. I met Porsche. She has done quite a few of these contests, bikini contests, different contests, and when I talked to her, she seemed to always be strapped for money. So I told her, this magazine right here, that if we took pictures and they accepted them, it pays $500, and it states it right in here. She gets $350, I get $150. I told her at that point, because we had an arrangement where I was building a motorcycle that I'd bought, and I planned on selling it to her way before this even happened. I told her that if they went in, she could have my $150, keep the $500. She told me at that point, fine, why don't we just deduct it from the bike?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He made a comment that if she had slept with him, you know, he would have given her the bike for free. God is my witness. He said that.
And later today,
He offered to pay you $12 for your cat.
$12.50, Your Honor. He tells me the cats are disposable.
I suppose he feels that same way about his dog.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jerry Lehman says he took topless photos of his friend Portia Pendleton so they could enter the pictures in a contest. Portia says she was to be paid no matter what.
She took the picture, sir.
Yes, we took the pictures.
All right, so let's move on with it.
But she never filled out the release form and the other requirements, so they could not be sent in.
Did you ever fill out release forms?
No, and the reason that was never done is because I had never agreed to do a contest, and this is a letter that Mr. Lehman wrote me, and he states that a photo of you holding the signed release form with your driver's license is required. Now, if He's stating that I went down there knowingly to enter this contest. Why was that never done? Because we had never had that type of agreement.
Well, just a second. Why didn't you ever sign the release when she came into the photo shoot?
To be honest with you, I didn't think about it. I've never done it before.
Good question.
Thank you.
I had not gone through their requirements and read all their requirements. All I knew is I had a few friends that had their girlfriends in the magazine. They said, send it in. When I went through and read everything after we took the pictures, got in touch with her and said, okay, we need to do this.
And what happened?
We never got it done. I never did meet up with her.
What do you mean you never got it done?
I would only meet her where she worked.
So why didn't you bring it to where she worked?
She would only come in on certain days when she had a client. Lots of times I would go. She never showed up for work.
All right. Did you ever have a discussion with her about returning the negatives and all the other pictures to her?
No, ma'am.
Well, where are all the pictures and the negatives?
When I moved my facility in April, we cleaned out the office because I was moving into a small place. I threw everything away. It's 5 months after the fact. I didn't need it. I threw away a lot of my own stuff.
So you don't have them anymore?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if, in fact, any of these pictures surface, she now has the basis for a very substantial lawsuit against you. You understand that? Based upon what you just said to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to rethink that? Where are the pictures and the negatives?
I can only tell you the truth. They've been in the dumpster since April.
You better hope nobody takes them out.
Your Honor, he had even made comments to me when I discussed a business proposition with him. He made a comment that if she had slept with him, you know, he would have given her the bike for free. God is my witness. He said that. So, I mean, I think he has these pictures, and he did tell me they were published. He said
Just a second. Listen to me. If he told you at some time that the pictures were published and he made a lot of money, that's because he is a blowhard. Right?
It is true.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the $500 that you gave him for this bicycle.
Okay.
Did you give him $500 as a down payment for the bike?
Yes, I gave him.
Good.
And he gave me the key.
Did she give you $500 for the bike?
She has never given me a penny in her life. And what they need is lie detector machines sitting right here on each table.
Show me the canceled check for the $500 that you gave him.
I didn't give him a check. I gave him cash, but he gave me the key to the motorcycle, and he told me that he would deliver the motorcycle in a couple of weeks because it was having mechanical problems.
Where did you get the $500 from?
From working.
So you keep all the money that you make in cash?
Some of it, yes, and then, you know, when I do my modeling jobs, I have the checks and I deposit them into my account.
In a bank account?
Mm-hmm.
In a checking account, because that's where you keep the money that you receive, because you have to pay taxes on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You write checks for your rent, right?
That's true.
You write checks for your telephone,
but
right? Right?
That's correct.
You write checks for your credit cards, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you. It's Kate, I believe him. I believe that what you just agreed to do was to do a contest. I don't believe that he agreed to pay you $1,200 even if the pictures weren't published. That's a lot of nonsense. He's not a photographer. He's a biker. And I don't believe that you gave him $500. So your case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back go to your right.
For a bottle of booze, you're going to give somebody a key to a $3,500 Harley Davidson, especially, you know, somebody that you're not in any type of relationship
She don't do any good without the motorcycle.
And now the next case.
Parties on Malcolm versus Tripp. Step forward, please.
Attorney John Malcolm says his cat Virginia was killed by his neighbor, Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald has offered to pay $12.50 to replace the cat. But John says that is not enough.
Mr. Tripp, this is your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Your dog killed the plaintiff's cat.
So they
You don't
say.
seem to deny that.
Well, I don't know that for sure neither.
Put your hands down, sir. From your answer to Mr. Malcolm's complaint, you sort of... Am I boring you?
Definitely. I apologize.
Well, then I'll try to make it as fast as possible. Mr. Malcolm, you two were neighbors?
Yes, we are.
I would like you to tell me what you observed. Give me the date of the incident.
On July 29th, at about 1:15 in the morning, I was awoken by the loud barking of a dog and the scream of a cat. And this was a horrific scream. It wasn't like an ordinary cat fight. It was a bloody murder type scream. I got up out of bed, ran to the other end of the house, looked out the kitchen window, and in my field of view, which is about 30 degrees, I could see at least 2 people standing, not more than this distance from here to the dog, watching that dog attack our cat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell him how you really
It
feel.
stopped.
Tell him, Malcolm. Come on. Tell him.
How do I really feel?
Tell him how you
I
feel,
would like
Malcolm.
to have a piece of him. I
Yeah.
really would.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Malcolm says he witnessed the killing of his cat by his neighbor Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald says cats are disposable.
Where did this happen, sir?
This happened about 10 feet away from our front porch.
Okay, so it was on your property.
Yes, it was.
What did you do?
I ran to the back of the bedroom, got my pants and a flashlight, and ran out. And I think I said something like, "Hey, you guys just killed my cat." The dog was already gone at that point. He was already gone,
You mean the defendant?
the defendant. His brother Rodney,
That's this young man here?
yes, seated with the dog, and another young man, also with a close cropped haircut like that, turned and walked away. I knelt down and saw Virginia, and she was just ripped to shreds. She was crushed.
How long had you had the cat, sir?
I've had her for 12 years, and she's been a beloved family member. My wife and children have cared a great deal about her.
Okay, Mr. Tripp, I'll hear your side of the story, sir. I'm going to make this fast so that you don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Put your hands down.
I was woken up by my dad that said the cops were outside, wanted to talk to me about my dog killing a cat.
Listen to me. Slowly. You were awakened by your father.
Yeah, I was awakened by the old man. He woke me up, said, "Come outside. The cops want to talk to you about your dog killing a cat." So I went outside. I find this dude right here. He was kicking it. And then 2 cops and a dead cat. I get with my family, and they fill me in on what had happened. I
Did
guess.
you see what happened, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up here.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little more articulate than your brother.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on to that dog.
Come here, man.
Put the dog on a leash.
The dog's on a leash.
And hold it. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, ma'am. I was woke by my friend Greg, the other witness that he mentioned. He came inside yelling that there was someone breaking into my vehicle. I went outside, and when I ran outside the front door, Max followed me. I observed the cat in the corner of my eye in my front yard. My dog ran over to the cat as I was running to the car. Ran the car, I seen it got broke into.
Try looking at me.
The steering column and everything was busted out, and I could hear the cat screaming. So I look over, and next thing I know, he comes running outside. "Your dog's killing my cat. Your dog's killing my cat." I was
But
like,
by
"Yes,
this time, sir, the dog and the cat were on his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
Yeah, after it was
Good.
in our front yard.
Sit down. So once this happened, which one of these 2 geniuses said to you, "Too bad about your cat, man"?
This one.
Yeah, sounds right. All right, and he offered to pay you $12 for your cat. because he said-
$12.50, Your Honor.
Because
he tells
he
me
said-
that cats are disposable.
Mm-hmm.
One's as good as another.
I suppose he feels that way about his dog.
Your Honor?
You don't feel the same way about your dog?
Most definitely. Easy come, easy go.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Mr. Tripp, how old are you, sir?
22, ma'am.
22. And how do you support yourself?
Unemployed.
So you don't support yourself.
Correct.
How many times have you been arrested?
How many times have I been arrested?
That was my question. I understood my question.
You know, it's really, I want to say once. One time that I remember. He knows all about it. He was asking me about it the other day.
And who do you live with?
I live with my father.
Who else?
My dog. My brother. The other members of our family.
Uh-huh.
Who do you live with?
You ever been in a drug rehabilitation program?
Man, that's none of your business, I feel.
Well, I'll tell you what is my business, Mr. Tripp. I'm awarding the plaintiff $1,500. It's more than he's requested for the damage that was done to his family emotionally and the damage to his cat and the suffering that the cat suffered. Sir, you've only been arrested according to your statement once at this time in your life. You continue with that kind of an attitude when you're in court. I guarantee you this will not be the last time you're before a judge. That's all.
All right, Zach, excuse. You may step out.
See that, right? That wasn't so bad, huh?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next...
Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Step forward.
25-year-old student Marcus Bunch says he was punched and injured by bouncers at the Cowboy Boogie Company. He wants the owner, Jack Wade, to pay his medical bills.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 199 on the calendar in the matter of Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, gentlemen.
Mr. Bunch.
Yes.
And you are, sir?
Mr. Wade.
Shh. Mr. Wade, you are the owner of this club?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. Bunch, your papers indicate that you were assaulted by Mr. Wade's employees while you were a patron at the club.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Want to tell me what happened, sir?
Me and a bunch of friends went that night to take some dance lessons to have a good time at the club. And
is this a dance club?
Yes, it is.
And we took the lessons, and afterwards we were dancing, and a good song came on, and we decided that we were going to dance with the rest of the customers that were up on a stage or a platform area. And when we got up there, me and my friend John, we danced for about a half of the song. And at that point, one of the bouncers came up and told us that we had to get down. So we did. And we asked him, why could the rest of the people dance up there if we couldn't? And he said, simply because they're girls. And John protested. He said, well, that's not fair. You know, in our society, it's supposed to be equal. If they can dance there, we should be allowed to also.
So there were only girls up on the platform?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he said if he didn't like it, take it up with the management or get the heck out of the place. And we turned around and we started to walk away, and I said, all right, Haas. And that was probably a mistake. I called the guy Haas. But I don't think that was a very harsh thing to call him. And we walked away and we went back to our table. And at that point he said, all right, you guys are out of here. And he turned around and he walked away. So we just kept going back to our table, and we sat down and we were with the rest of our friends. And he came back instantly with a bunch of guys wearing red shirts that said Cowboy Boogie Company, and he grabbed me briskly and picked me off of my bar stool and started escorting me out of the establishment. And I went peacefully, and in front of me was John, carried hog-tied, and they were slamming him around, running him out the front door, knocking over some of the other customers that were in the place, and they threw him out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, we were underneath the umbrella in front of the establishment, and we walked past that, and we were actually in the parking lot now. And John turned around and said, I want my cowboy hat. And
this is John.
This is John.
May I say something?
Not yet.
That night, he had just purchased a cowboy hat from this establishment, and he lost it that night.
Okay.
So he was upset. They didn't want to let him go back in the club to get the hat, and they were arguing, exchanging words at each other. And at this point, to remind you, we were past the umbrella out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, one of the bouncers, I believe it's this guy here.
Which one, in the red shirt?
In the red shirt, yes, ma'am. He blew his top and ran out. He was by the front door. He ran out and slugged him in the chest, knocking him down to the ground. And his girlfriend and I were standing next to him, and he said, excuse my language, F you too, and he punched her in the chest and knocked her down the ground also. And then when he turned towards me, at that point, I had just instantly, I defended myself, I hit him, I turned around, and I wanted to get the heck out of there. There was too many bouncers there. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I just wanted to be safe and get out of there.
Oh.
Then...
Just a second. So let me understand this, Mr. Bunch. You hit the employee first.
Yes, ma'am, after he had hit both of my friends and turned towards me.
You hit the employee first.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead, then what happened?
Okay, so I ran through the parking lot as fast as I could.
So you hit him, and then you ran away?
Yes, I ran as fast as I could. And then there was a bunch of people chasing me. And I zigzagged through the parking lot. I ran different directions. Finally, they caught up with me, and they beat the crap out of me. They knocked me down on the ground.
Order.
I curled up into a ball, and they stomped me. They kicked me with cowboy boots, or I don't know what, but they broke my finger. They gave me a subcutaneous hematoma in one of my other fingers. They kicked me in the back.
Just a second. When you say a subcutaneous hematoma, it meant that one of your nails turned black?
Yes, and they had to, in the ER, they had to burn a hole through my nail with an electric probe so the blood can come out. It was very painful. They broke my pinky in 2 places. I had numerous bruises and scratches and kicks, and I had a bump on my elbow that lasted for 2 weeks. I was just in pain.
Where did you hit this gentleman when you hit him?
Somewhere in the face.
And I assume that you hit him with your fist.
Yes, I did.
And you didn't stick around to see what kind of injury there was?
Not at all. I was running for my life. I wanted to leave that establishment. There was too many bouncers there. And I'm not a fighter. I was just defending myself. This guy hit both of my friends and turned towards me. Looking at me, he's 6'4", 300 pounds and muscular. I'm getting out of there.
You should have gotten out before you hit him, Mr. Bunch.
He turned towards me and was coming
listen
at
to
me.
me. You should have, at that point, if you're scared to death of him, you turn around as fast as your little legs can take you and you start to run. If you, I mean, just think about it, Mr. Bunch.
You're
if
absolutely
you're scared
correct.
to death of somebody, you are large, aren't you, sir?
Yes.
You're scared to death of this man, and you probably had to swing up to hit him, right?
No, he was done. He was coming towards me. I didn't have a second to react. He hit both of them, turns towards me, and he was down at my level, ready to hit me too. And that's when I just immediately hit him and ran. I didn't have a second to react. I couldn't believe, I was in amazement that this guy ran from the front door, ran out and hit the girl that was only 115 pounds and slammed her to the ground. I couldn't believe it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent.
Is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch wants his medical bills paid after getting punched by a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer. Owner Jack Wade says his bouncer has a different story.
Now, you, sir, weren't there that evening.
I was there, but I didn't
But
see
you
the
didn't
incident,
witness
no.
this. But you did.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Travis Kelly. I was also there.
Well, let's hear. Stand up here. You first.
Okay. I was at work one night, and I remember this night. It was a Wednesday night, which is usually pretty busy. And Travis, who works the pit, called me down.
What's the pit?
That's where, in front of the DJ booth. That's where we have the platform where we just allow girls to dance.
Okay.
He says he got 2 guys on there that won't get off. So we went out and we asked him to leave. To get off the platform. And when one of the guys was coming down, he shouldered Travis. Okay? So in other words, he kind of assaulted him with his shoulder. So we wanted to take him outside just to talk to him, which is standard practice.
That is not
You don't
true.
immediately throw people out. So in the course of escorting them to the door, they become very unruly. So we had to grab them, restrain them, and protect the other customers and get them outside. When we get them to the front door, I have to keep the door open. And one of the guys was coming at me, and I put my arm out to stop him. They wanted to come back in the club, and they were coming after me. So I'm just, I'm just trying to protect myself. And then the girl came after me, at me. Obviously, if I hit her, I would have killed her. Obviously.
So what'd you do to her?
I just she ran into my arm and
And she
fell
fell
down.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of these guys, somebody hit me from the side. I didn't even see it coming. Just it really was nothing. And then he took off running.
Well, that was him.
That
in
was,
case you
I
didn't
guess
know.
it was. Yeah, it didn't even hurt. It's like somebody slapped me in the face.
So he took off running, and what happened?
I don't have an answer for you there. But I saw the police down there. They were down there talking to the police. And
Nobody
they wanted to
chased
arrest
him?
me. I didn't see. I just got hit me in the eye. So.
Did you chase him?
No, I didn't chase him.
I don't know who it was. It was a bunch of guys in red shirts. That's all I know. They had a lot of employees wearing red shirts just like the one he's wearing today.
Judge, all I know is I was the only one that was injured. Had any type of injury.
That's
It
not
wasn't
true.
a big deal. It wasn't a big deal to me. you know.
Well, you said he were hit on the side of the face and didn't even hurt.
That's
And you can't identify either one of these two people as being people who chased
No,
you.
ma'am, I can't. I was running for my life.
And all you saw was were people who were beating you up in red shirts.
I saw the red shirts. They stand out.
Red shirts?
Red shirts.
Okay. You want to stand up here,
Yeah.
sir?
I'd like to say, first of all, when he said we got off of the bar, the platform, nobody, neither one of us put a shoulder in either one of them.
I didn't
And then
think
we
that-
went back to the table.
I really didn't think that you did. Didn't you see
No,
the
we
look on
didn't.
my face?
No, we didn't.
But I want to know this, gentlemen. Have you been to this establishment before?
That was my first time there.
And
I
yours?
had been there before.
Well, if you were there before, you sort of knew the rules. Only girls are up on the platform.
I
Why
didn't
did
know
you-
that was the rules.
Well, you took a look
see
up on the platform. How many people were up there?
a lot of people up there.
All girls?
It was a very popular song. No, I
Just
don't
a
know
s-
if it was all girls or not, but there was a lot
But
of
it
people
looked
up
like
there.
all girls. You just told me, sir, a moment ago that you were offended because in this country there shouldn't be any difference between boys and girls, and you should be allowed to be dancing up there too. So
When
that's
they
why
kick-
you were offended.
After they had pulled us down, we looked out there and said, why aren't those people being kicked down also? And that's when he said, because they're all girls.
You mean you couldn't tell that before he told you that they were all girls? Hmm?
I honestly didn't take a number. I didn't count them and say, look, there was all girls up there. Let's go up there and dance with all these girls.
And what about you?
Yeah, I saw a couple of girls up there, but I'm a guy, and maybe I wanted a date, so I got up there. But the fact of the matter is, when he grabbed me, 2 guys around my ankles, 2 guys around my wrist, another guy choking me. You know, if they would have asked me to leave or told me, you know, and threatened me, like, if you don't leave, I'm going to throw you out. But they didn't say that. They just came over, they threw me down, and then when they got to the door, they threw me past the umbrella.
Did you sue them?
Did I know?
How come?
The lawyer
'Cause-
said he didn't have a case.
Just a second.
At the time, I had, and
I'm
it was a
asking
car
him.
accident. I went to a lawyer. I explained it to the lawyer. He checked into it with him, said they went bankrupt, so there was no case.
So
to
you didn't
follow.
sue them?
So no, I did not sue them.
This place is making a ton of money. They have advertisements every night. They
No, I'm
have a
asking you-
lot of people there,
Listen
and
to
yet
me.
they're in bankruptcy.
Listen to me, sir. I'm asking him some questions. He's a perfectly intelligent man. He can answer these questions himself without assistance from you. Your date. You had a date that night?
Yes, it was my ex-girlfriend.
Was she thrown to the ground?
Yeah, he hit her with the palm of his hand very hard. She walked
Like
up.
this?
Yeah, with all his force. He hit her. She flew back at least 5 feet, and comes up to my chin. 110 pounds. He had no reason to hit her. He had no reason to hit me. He struck me first. For no reason. I walked back up. I asked if I could get my hat. He said no. We had exchange of words. I stand back. I step back. He came at me, hit me. Then my girlfriend was standing next to me. He proceeded to hit her with the palm of his hand. She had damage to her chest. She went to the emergency room also.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If I hit her like she said I did, like this, I would have killed her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch says he was acting in self-defense when he hit a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer.
Now, Mr. Bunch, you are in the difficult position, sir, of having thrown the initial punch, in this case, and then seeking damages. And seeking damages against somebody that you cannot identify other than red shirts. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Well,
I
that's a
do think,
problem.
though, that this is his responsibility as a business owner to interview his personnel, to make sure that they're qualified, to train them properly so that they do not lose their temper.
You have two problems, sir. A, you threw the first punch at his employee, and B, you cannot, to my satisfaction, identify his employees as the people who beat you up. It seems strange to me that somebody who was badly injured, as you say you were, did not take themselves down to the police precinct on the very next day and demand to file a complaint against the people who you say assaulted you so that they could be arrested and prosecuted for assault. You clearly knew enough how to file a civil proceeding, which requires the same kind of acumen.
I'm just learning this. I'm only 25 years old. I wasn't aware of my options. We tried to file a complaint against these people when the police were there, and they would not allow us to do so.
I don't believe that that's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't file a complaint against him, sir, because I just told you. I'm not repeating it. You assaulted him.
We wanted him arrested for assault.
Who's we?
Myself and Michelle Chippy.
I'm not interested in them.
Okay.
Their case is not before me. They chose not to sue anybody. Only you chose to sue them.
Now, I can establish that they were bouncers that worked for this club, that were the ones that came out.
I'm prepared to hear you.
Okay, because in the police report, it states that, and I can give this to you. And
I'd like to see the police report.
And it established that they were the bouncers that detained me until the police arrived.
Just a second. Well, the first thing that you say is that you've outlined for me. It says, he ran but was caught by unknown security employees and held pending our arrival. You've outlined that, right? And that statement is attributed to you. It says, Bunch said. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So then you said that. It's the same thing that you just said to me here. You indicated to me that this report would prove that it was employees who did that. So far, this is just your statement to the police. Am I correct?
So far, yes.
Okay. Who's something SSMAN?
Suspect Hammond, which is John Hammond here.
That's you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The only thing this says is Suspect Hammond related the same information and added that they chased down Suspect Bunch after Bunch fled after striking Judas, that's you.
That's me.
In the face. Is
Yes,
that
Your
right?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you see that whole incident where they were beating him up, sir?
I couldn't see. I saw them chasing after him. I did not see them beat him. I saw them chase him.
Ah, okay. Who's they?
The bouncers of the Cowboy Boogie.
Who are not here?
Who are not here.
Okay.
But if they were here, I could tell you who they were.
Okay. But you didn't see any of them assaulting him?
Not behind it. No, I did not. Not out in the parking lot.
Okay.
We were on the ground behind cars,
Yeah,
Your
I
Honor.
couldn't see behind
Okay.
I was very far away from the front door at that point.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to explain to me. I'm asking whether he saw anything, sir. Seeing something gives me information. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This doesn't prove to me, sir, any of the things that you said that it was going to prove. We're still faced with a situation where you assaulted his employee first. You punched him in the face.
As a direct response to a threat. I thought I was going to
I don't believe that, sir. What I believe happened was you saw your two friends getting shoved hard. I don't believe he punched the girl. I believe, even according to this witness, he pushed her. You say nothing. Say nothing. You've told me your story, Mr. Bunch.
Can I show you the push that he did? Can I show you
To
how
whom?
he pushed her? Michelle Chippy.
It doesn't make any difference, sir.
He went like this and like that in her chest. If you call that a push, I call that a punch. Whether it's an open fist or a closed fist,
Then you
that's a
punched him
punch.
in the face.
Because he turned towards me.
I don't believe that, sir. That,
Your
sir.
Honor,
What I
I'm
believe...
not a fighter. I do not have a record for fighting. I've never been arrested for such. I'm not a fighter. I wanted to get out of there. He came towards me
Sir,
before
you
I
started,
had a
listen to
second.
me, Mr. Bunch. You
Yes,
started this whole problem, sir, when they told you to get off the dance floor, and you started by saying to a man who's probably twice your size, okay, hoss.
We got down.
Just a second. Just a second. That's what you just told me you did, right? And after there was an altercation, and I'm not so sure whether you all acted absolutely appropriately, you know, in making a big deal out of this thing. But there's no question that you hit him first.
But
And
he
I
hit
don't
two
believe...
other people first.
Sir. He didn't hit her.
Yes, he did.
I had enough. Mr. Bunch, this happened a year ago. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This happened a year ago.
Yes, Your Honor. And I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent because
Is that
of
the...
this.
Just a second. Mr. Bunch, is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Versus Carter Bruce. Step forward, please.
50-year-old contractor Larry Blaylock says Billy Ray Carter's dog killed his ostrich.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 190 on the calendar in the matter of Blaylock versus Carter Bruce. Parties have been sworn in except for the dog. You may be seated.
Dogs always tell the truth. Mr. Blaylock, Mr. Bruce is your neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bruce. Mr. Carter moved into Mr. Bruce's home along with this dog.
Into his tack room. Combination tack room.
On his property.
On his property.
With this dog.
Yes.
Problem arose, Mr. Blaylock, because according to your complaint, you raise on your property ostriches.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many ostriches did you have at the time of this incident, sir?
38.
Why?
Profit. Raised for meat and skin.
Where do you live?
Norco, a suburb of Riverside.
In California?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you permitted to have 38 ostriches on your property?
To my reluctance, I found out that I have got to get rid of 9 birds.
Did you find that out before or after?
After.
This incident?
After.
According to these papers, sir, you claim that this dog here killed one of your ostriches.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want to tell me about it?
Well, I started raising the birds about 2 years ago with the approval of my neighbors. I checked with them before I started.
Well, let's go back a second. You say you checked with your neighbors. Not really according to your papers, sir. You say you asked your neighbors if they minded you having a few ostriches on your property.
Yes.
Did you ever tell them how many you were going to have on your property?
No, ma'am.
How large a piece of property do you have?
2.5 acres.
And how big are these birds, sir?
Well, the tallest about 6 feet, 7 feet.
And according to your papers, they weigh about 300 pounds.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, 2 acres isn't a lot of property, sir, to have that, you know, it's like having a zoo on your property.
Well, each pair of birds has their own pen of 50 by 100 feet.
Is this a residential area?
You'd have to know the premise that Norco is founded on. It's an animal lover's paradise, actually. It's for horses and...
Residential?
It is basically residential, with the thought of animals in mind.
But clearly not according to your ordinances, 38 ostrich.
I had too many ostriches at the time.
Okay. Now tell me how this incident happened with, according to you, this dog.
Well, the defendant, Billy Carter, woke me up about 6:30 one morning, said that one of my birds couldn't get up. I asked him how he knew that the bird didn't get up, because his first statement was, you know, it had nothing to do with me or my dog. I said, well, if it had nothing to do with you or your dog, how did you know it can't get up? You know, and so I walked out.
How did you know that, sir?
I knew this was something wrong because I'm used to with horses and stuff. When they lie down and don't get up, there's something wrong. I'm not an ostrich.
So you knocked at the door and you said your ostrich can't get up. Did you go outside and look at the bird, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened to, what was the condition of the bird?
The bird was well, we call impacted or constipated.
What?
Impacted or constipated.
Constipated?
Yes. So I gave him a dose of mineral oil and came back and checked on him again.
I hate to ask you this question, Mr. Blaylock, but, you know, I'm a judge and I have to get all the facts. How can you tell an ostrich is constipated?
Just the same way you tell a child. It's just they're listless and don't want to join the crowd. Don't want to join the others.
There aren't any other reasons why a bird wouldn't want to eat or was listless other than being constipated?
No, ma'am. It's just a common problem.
Okay. So it is a common problem with ostriches because of what they eat or what?
Because they can't pick up the wrong thing. I found neighborhood kids are throwing marbles and golf balls and whatever in the yard.
So they eat things
Yes.
that they shouldn't?
They'll eat anything they can fit in their mouth.
So they're real stupid.
They're about the stupidest animal you'll ever find.
It's honest. Okay, so you gave this bird a dose of, I don't know, castor oil for ostriches or mineral oil and went on your way.
Yes.
What happened after bird got a dose?
I came out about 10 o'clock to check on him and gave her another dose, and I had to hold her down to give her the second dose. So this bird was improving and feeling better.
Okay.
In good shape.
Okay.
Moving around.
Next.
Then I came back out about 1:30, as I usually do, to check on all the birds, and the bird was dead.
Describe, because that becomes very important, describe where the bird was.
Well, I have photographs where I found it, with the bird's head under the fence, the skull crushed, and a pool of blood on Mr. Bruce's side of the fence.
So the bird's head was on his property.
Yes, ma'am. You can tell from the photos the neck has been stretched where the dog tried to pull the bird over and tried to dig its way under to pull it through the fence.
Clearly, the deceased bird's head is on his property, and according to you, the cause of death was trauma to the head.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you want to explain to me your theory of how the bird's head got on his property? Because you would agree, sir, if the bird's head was on his property and you knew that he had this dog there,
yes,
then he's not liable.
Well, I've approached him on 2 or 3 occasions and asked him, because Mr. Bruce also has a large dog, a Labrador, I believe it is. And, you know, his dog barks at the birds, but it's not a real problem. When Mr. Carter moved in with a Rott, it became obvious that the Rottweiler was very antagonistic. And I asked him two or three times to restrain the Rott until he got accustomed to the birds, as the Labrador was.
Well, how'd you want him to restrain the dog?
Just keep him in the corral area until he got used to being around the birds. Instead of doing that, he turned him loose in the backyard.
Well, it's his backyard.
Well, that's true.
It's his
I
backyard.
just asked him as common courtesy.
Well, but you understand as a common courtesy, he doesn't have to do that. First of all,
Well, he
Mr.
didn't.
Blaylock, you were violating the law by having that many birds, right?
He's violating the law by being there, living in the tack room.
Why?
Zoning restrictions.
Well, that certainly, sir, was not raised in any of your papers that he's violating any
Yes,
law
ma'am,
by
it
living
was.
in the tack room. But that's not what you're complaining about.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If this dog killed this bird, I'll eat my hat.
And later today,
Got to keep that testosterone level, sir. You don't know who these people are. I mean, they could be even dumber than they are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Blaylock says his neighbor, Billy Ray Carter's Rottweiler, killed his ostrich. Billy Ray says the ostrich crossed over the line.
I still would like you to give me your theory of how this dog got your bird's head underneath the fence and onto his property.
Well, as you can probably deduce from the photographs, no one actually saw the bird attack, or the dog attack. I can only just guess that the bird was trying to get something under the fence. The dog approached, and when the bird tried to get away, it probably hit its head on the fence or something, couldn't get back in. And the dog killed it.
So what you're saying is your bird went under the fence to try to get something. And then when
I'm assuming that. No one actually saw it.
So how can you sue him for the cost of your bird? I mean, under either scenario, nobody saw it. And assuming the best of what you tell me, Mr. Blaylock.
Well, it's obvious his dog killed my bird.
But that's not the relevant point, sir. The relevant point is your bird was trespassing on his property. And he's allowed to have a dog. Dogs and ostriches clearly don't get along.
Putting one's head over a fence line does not constitute trespassing, does it?
Not one's head, an ostrich head. As you said, sir, the dumbest creature in creation.
Well, in that context, then if his horse comes over my fence, I can shoot it.
No, no, there's a difference, sir, between you shooting, you as a human being shooting one of his animals, and, for instance, 38 of your ostriches getting out of their cage and going into his property and stomping on his dog. Would you be responsible?
Yes, I would feel so.
Sure, because your animals went onto his property. Your animal went onto his property.
No, ma'am.
That dog,
No,
yeah.
it didn't.
Well, you just told me that, sir. Your
Yes, that he
animal's
stuck
head
it.
went onto his property.
The
This
bird put
dog,
his head under the fence. It did not touch his property.
If your bird's head hadn't been on his property, your bird wouldn't be dead. And your bird is clearly dead. I feel sorry for you, sir, but this dog is a dog. And animals, you know, if you watch the Discovery Channel, animals kill each other, they go after each other, they mutilate each other. I mean, that's life. That's why you put up a fence. You're supposed to have a fence that keeps your animals on your side and his animals on his side. Your animal got on his side. I don't understand the theory of how you believe he's responsible for the loss of your animal. Okay. Anything you want to say to me?
I do have a video that I think would show maybe what Mr. Blaylock's trying to say. It's up to Your Honor if you'd like to see it.
I love to see movies.
Stay.
Stay right there. Mr. Video?
Yes.
This going to show me the ostriches?
The first part of it shows where the incident happened itself. This is a home video, so it's...
Am I going to see ostriches?
Yes, ma'am. This is the incident right here. This is the hole that was made. This is the area where the bird was found. We also have pictures from animal control that they took. These are what the birds do. There he is, Mr. Bradlock is to the left. They're really good fence trimmers. They will get very, very close, but I've never seen one come under, but I guess if they really wanted to, they would. What we want to point out here, though, is there is no barrier between his birds and any of our animals, our horses, or even our dogs.
Knowing that these are valuable birds, knowing the stupidity of these animals, why didn't he take proper precaution on his part? Other ostrich breeders have done this.
Well, the birds were there for months before this dog got there. With the other dog, no problem.
Sir, that's not particularly relevant. I mean, if Mr. Bruce here wants to have 3 Rottweilers on his property, that is a Rottweiler, correct?
Yes.
He can do that. That's his property. He doesn't have to safeguard your birds. You have to safeguard your birds. And if that means putting up an additional fence, then you put up an additional fence. He doesn't have to be nice to your birds. That's not his problem. That's your problem. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He wasn't trespassing. He's doing what birds do. And don't say a dog did what dogs do, because dogs don't kill things just for the sport of it.
If he wanted that bird, there would not have been much evidence as far as that neck. He would have eaten it.
And now the next case.
Parties on Plant versus Goulet. Step forward, please.
18-year-old student Jared Plant is suing 27-year-old Steve Goulet, the future stepfather of 16-year-old Eric Gustafson. Jared says Steve smashed his truck window in a late-night parking lot showdown.
All right, let me understand this. You two gentlemen found yourselves in a deserted parking lot of an elementary school at 10:30 at night.
Yes.
Ready for combat. You, sir, in your complaint say that the defendant intentionally damaged your car by hitting it with some sort of a baton.
Right.
He says you tried to kill him by running him over, and he was defending himself. So, Mr. Plant, first, why don't you tell me, how old are you, sir?
18.
You go to high school?
College.
Were you in high school at the time of this incident?
It was in the summer.
So you were just graduated from high school?
Right.
You on some sort of a team in high school?
Football.
Football. I don't know why I just knew you were on the football team. And something happened, according to these papers, with this young man. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So why don't you start by telling me the story?
All right, we went to a movie, and we were coming home, and we pulled up next to him at a stoplight, and they took off, and they flicked us off, and...
They what?
Hand gestures to us.
Gave you a nasty hand gesture.
Yeah, so we followed...
Which offended your manhood.
Sure, yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Look at the size of him and the size of him. It's going to take 5 people to come beat up on one little kid. Just kids being bullies.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Jared Plant says his truck window was smashed by 16-year-old Eric Gustafson's future stepfather, Steve Goulet, during a late-night parking lot showdown.
Go ahead.
And so we just followed him around for a while, and then we went back to Travis's house. And,
to Travis.
Right.
That's you.
And one of the kids knew who he was, and we looked him up in the yearbook, and another kid that isn't here called his house, and whoever answered said, meet us at the parking lot in 5 minutes. So we went there.
Mr. Platt, why did you call his house?
I didn't, another kid
Why
did.
did somebody call the house?
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, why did you accompany them to the parking lot when somebody called the house?
Because they said, let's go to the park, and so I went. There really was no reason behind going.
Except dumbness.
Right.
So here you are at a parking lot, according to this, 10:30 at night.
Right.
And then what happened?
Well, we were parked on one side, and he was on the other side.
Who's he?
The defendant. And we were parked.
The defendant, you, sir, are his stepfather.
Soon to be, yes.
So you are engaged to his mother.
Yes.
We'll get to why you went to the parking lot in a second. I'm dying to hear why. Yes, so now here you are in the parking lot. They on one side, you on the other.
Yep.
Ready to joust.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And we were parked parallel, facing opposite directions. And he jumped out of the car, and he went like this, and there was a click, and I thought it was either a gun or a knife. So I took off, and he came up from behind and hit the back windshield.
You mean when he got out of the car, how close was he to you when he got out of the car?
He was probably 10, 15 feet.
And then he hit your car window.
Right.
And smashed it.
Right.
Let's start with the telephone call. You're home in the evening, and you get a phone call.
Yes.
Who answered the phone?
I did.
And there was a voice on the other end that said what?
Started off with, we're going to come over and kick your effing ass, and we're coming to your house, and all this, and this went on, and I was just going, uh-huh. And I said, okay, and I wasn't sure what the problem was, and they said, we're coming over to your house right now. I said, okay, if you guys want to talk about this, that's fine. Let's go to the park. We'll talk about this. I don't want them at my house. I don't need those problems at my house. I figured, go up to the park, they'll see an adult, calm down, talk about it, dispute will be over. It's not how it happened. Go up to the park, pull in the parking lot, there's two entrances. One on the east side, one on the west side. I pulled in on the east, they pulled in on the west. Facing each other, about this far. I exit my vehicle, I approach her vehicle, I said, which one of you guys called my house? All of a sudden, they just peeled out and came right at me. I struck the vehicle in self-defense.
Mr. Goulet, you know how to get in touch with the police, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
27.
A little bit older than this young man.
Yes.
And who lives in your house?
Me, Eric, his brother Landon.
How old is his brother?
Just turned 14 or 13.
Mm-hmm. So a family lives there.
Yes.
Why didn't you, sir, when you got this phone call that these brats were going to come over to your house, why didn't you say, you ready to come over to the house? I can't do anything about that, and just hang up the phone and call the police? And say, I've just been threatened. My family has been threatened. There's a gang coming over to my house. Could you please send a police officer? Why do you think this is funny?
I don't know.
Why didn't you call the police?
I'm not sure exactly.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Hindsight is 20/20, but you take this young man, who's a young teenager, you put him in a dangerous situation by taking him to a parking lot late at night. You don't know who these people are. I mean, they could be even dumber than they are. They could be. They could have weapons. They could have hurt you. Not smart, you know? Got to keep that testosterone level, sir. So your car was damaged to what extent, sir?
The back windshield was completely busted, and I had to buy a new one.
And how much did that cost you?
$300. I have the receipt right here if you want to look at it.
No, you could tell me. How much did it cost you?
It was $344.50.
Pay for it. This case is dismissed. That's all.
He's excused. You may step out.
I have to pay for it?
I'll back to you right, please.
And on the next Judge Judy.
Party's on Thompson versus Thompson. Step forward, please. Versus Hager. Step forward, please.
Dairy farmer Bird Miller wants 31-year-old Jason Hager to pay the damage caused to his pickup truck after clubbing it. Jason claims it was self-defense.
Order. All rise. Judge, number 204 on the calendar in the matter of Miller versus Hager. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Shame on you both. Always strikes me is when two adult men get into a car and get into a contest and let their testosterone take off and rule their heads, there's trouble, especially when there's a child in the car, like this gorgeous little blonde thing. Mr. Miller, you're suing Mr. Hager because you say that after some sort of a dispute in your car, he was driving his, you yours, he attacked your car with a club.
Yes.
And caused almost $400 worth of damage to the car. Tell me how it started, sir.
I was making a turn off of Valley View Street. I was going south. There's a frontal road there beside of it. Hager was coming, going south also on it. He run the stop sign. And as a result of it, I almost hit him. If I hadn't stopped, I would have hit him. I blew my horn. He raised his finger at me, and we proceeded down the frontal road.
So you're both now going in the same direction?
We're both going in the same direction.
And this is your grandchild?
Yes.
She was in the car with you?
Yes.
Where was she sitting, front or back?
Well, it was a pickup, so she's in the front.
Right next to you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We came to an alley that runs down behind a shopping mall, and we proceeded down it, and we got to the end of the stores.
Which car was first and which car was second?
He was following me.
Just a second. His car was first, your car was second.
Yes.
Were you following him, sir?
Yes.
Why?
I was behind him. I mean,
were you following?
I'm going in that direction.
He was chasing me.
Just a second. I'm going to get to you in a second, sir. You said you got to an alley.
Well, it's an alley, and it's also behind the store, but it's a parking lot also.
Well, were you going into that parking lot, sir?
No, I wasn't going into the parking lot.
So you were actually not behind him. You were following him.
Okay, I was following him.
Now, why were you following him?
So I could get his tag number.
Okay. And then what happened?
As we got to the end of the stores, there's also another small frontal road that leads to the front of the stores. He partially made the turn and stopped, jumped out, grabbed his club, and ran at me while I'm stopped. I had, in the meantime, stopped. He ran about 30 feet towards my truck, ran up to the side of me, took a swing at me. I pulled my truck forward, and he hit the back of my cab.
Can I see the damage to your car?
If you'll notice, Your Honor, the damage is at an angle as if he was swinging something, and you'll see that it's also right in line with me in the truck. So if I hadn't pulled forward, he would have hit me in the truck.
This has an open top, sir?
No, it's you looking at. May I get it to you? Oh, come on, surely. I take better pictures than that.
I got it. I got it now. Oh, I thought it was a convertible truck. I hadn't seen one of those. All right. Now I got it. All right, Mr. Hager, let's hear you, sir.
Well, what he said is correct as far as he was following me. I was very close to my home. I didn't want him, I wasn't going to go home knowing he was following me. I became fearful, wasn't sure what I should do. So yeah, I stopped, and in an attempt to defend myself, knowing that not knowing what he's going to do, I did take my club. He sees me stop. He's coming at me. He puts his head out the window of his truck and says, "I'm going to run you over." That's when he started to come at me with the truck. I jump out of the way, and he backs up a little bit and comes at me again. The second time is when he came close enough to me that I could swing and hit the truck.
All right, so I have a few questions for you, Mr. Hager. You live in that area, sir?
Yes. I was less than a block away from my home.
And how long have you lived there?
About 18 months.
So you know where the local police precinct is?
Actually, I found it after this.
You mean you didn't know before?
No. Well, it's a very large city. I wasn't sure where to go.
I don't believe you, sir. You see, I see this. You see, I see this around here.
Well,
and I'm like a truth machine. So don't tell me that you didn't know where to find a policeman.
I went to. Well, no, that would have been the alternative. Was driving around.
That's an alternative rather than getting out of your car with a club.
Right.
Because it doesn't seem to me to be logical, sir, that if you're in fear of your life, you are defending yourself against a 2-ton truck with a 2-pound club.
Right.
You see, that doesn't make sense. To me, what makes sense is if you're in fear, you stay in your car. What kind of a car were you driving?
A Camaro.
So you stay in your Camaro and you drive around until you see a police car, if you don't know where the local police precinct is.
Right.
Right.
But I thought of that after, but in the fear, I wasn't thinking that logically.
Listen to me, Mr. Hager. Why were you in fear, sir? You were in your car, windows closed, right? Windows closed.
No.
You could have closed the windows, Mr. Hager, right? You do have
yes.
electric windows in your Camaro?
Yes.
So you press a button, you close the window, and you keep driving, and you say to yourself, I got some nut here behind me. I'm not going to get out of this car. I'm going to stay in my car. But you get out of your car. Where was the club?
On the passenger seat.
You pick up the club, and you get out of your car. That doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Hager.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Wonder how afraid he was when he stuck his finger up. Could we ask him that question?
And later today,
Make me look like a liar. Make me look bad when you know you was stripping and you know you was working, Nicole. Don't stand there and lie.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bird Miller says Jason Hager's gesture led to violence, smashing Bird's pickup.
You pick up the club and you get out of your car. That doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Hager. It doesn't, it's illogical, sir.
To drive around looking for the police, I needed to, at some point, decide I'm going to stop and defend myself. That was it.
Defend yourself against what, sir?
This gentleman.
He's in his car.
I don't know that he's going to threaten to run me over. I think he's going to get out.
How can he run you over in your Camaro, sir? Sitting in your car, how can he run you over, Mr. Hager?
He can't.
Right. Sitting in your car, he can't run you over. Only when you're outside of your car, standing there armed with a weapon, can he run you over. Your mistake was getting out of the car. And then you hit his truck. So you were in a combat posture with a weapon. I mean, I'm not suggesting that what this man did was correct. I think, Mr. Miller, to be quite honest with you, sir, you're old enough to use your brains, and if this guy ran a stop sign, as you say, of course, you didn't run the stop sign. Is that correct?
Correct.
I knew that. I knew that's what you would say. But you have a very precious cargo. Not you. Her. And so if you have a very precious cargo, and if you were fortunate enough, and God was watching you, and you didn't have an accident at that stop sign, you take a deep breath, and you say, phew, finished. I'm grateful that there was no accident, and you keep going. If you can get his license, that's fine. But to follow him into an alley is not swift.
It's really not an alley, Your Honor. I understand what you're saying, but
you understand what I'm saying.
I don't mean it's a,
I understand, but you got hot.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I'm not denying it at all.
Yeah, well, you want to get hot with you alone in the car. That's one thing, but you don't get hot when you have a baby in the car, especially a baby that looks like that.
Could I add something to this?
Sure, sir.
Okay. He said I almost hit him there at stop sign. If you look at the pictures, you will see there's a medium between Valley View and where he would have been sitting. So, in other words, I would have had to jump across the medium in order to hit him.
Interesting, not terribly relevant, because we're not talking about what happened at the stop sign. What we're talking about was Mr. Hager's. You both exercised poor judgment on that day, in my view. But Mr. Hager's judgment is going to cost him the amount that you claim you spent or will spend to fix your car, and I assume you have a bill for that.
Your Honor, I have a bill for the damage. I don't have a bill for a rental car. It'll take 3 days to fix the truck, which is $25 a day.
Well, Mr. Miller, for your bad judgment, it's going to cost you to rent your car.
All right.
For his bad judgment, it's going to cost him to fix your car. And the grand total here is $279.80 to fix your car. Mr. Hager, it was a very dumb thing that you did, because he may not have been the kind of person that he is, and he may have, in fact, run you over. And
I'm sure of that.
And your 2-pound club wasn't going to help you. So,
well, you know, my question is, if he cares enough about this truck to get it fixed, why is he chasing people and threatening them with it?
Mr. Hager, he wasn't smart to try to chase you to get your plate number, and I assume that that's what he was trying to do. He did not get out of his cab. You got out of your car. Dumb. Stupid. And not only did you get out of your car, you got out of your car with a weapon. So it's going to cost you. The amount it's going to cost you is the amount that it's going to cost to fix his car. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Thank you, Bill. Out the back door to your right, please.
Come on.
And now the next case.
Parties on cruise. Ambrosini versus Hernandez. Step forward, please.
41-year-old ironworker Charlie Ray Thompson is suing his nephew Lorenzo Thompson, 28, for thousands of dollars he said he loaned him.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Now, this is case number 202 on the calendar in the matter of Thompson versus Thompson. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
This is your nephew.
Yes,
Say you lent him some money.
$5,000.
Over a period of time.
Approximately a year, yes.
So I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your father's brother, correct?
No, my stepfather, brother.
Stepfather's brother.
He raised him since he was approximately 6 years old.
So he's not related to you by blood,
No, he's not.
but he considers you his nephew.
I treated him like...
Somewhat.
And you felt close enough to him to go to him when you needed some money.
No, I did not. Because I didn't get no money from this guy.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Well, why do you think he's here?
Well, see, he lent some money to a friend.
You mean your friend Nina?
Yes.
Now, I read about your friend Nina. He says that you called him and said that you needed money because your wife wanted to go home or had to go home to England with the children to see somebody in her family.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of that have a ring of truth to it, sir?
Not at all.
Do you
Not
have
at
a
all.
wife?
Yes, I have a wife.
What's her name?
Her name's Nina.
You have a wife whose name is Nina. Do you also have a friend whose name is Nina?
Yes, I do.
Do you have children, sir?
Yes, I do.
With which Nina do you have children?
My wife, Nina.
Where does your wife, Nina, come from?
Where does she come from?
That was my question. You have
Virginia.
an answer. I asked the questions. You have an answer.
From Virginia.
From
Blacksburg,
Virginia. And your other friend, Nina, where does she come from?
Where did she come from? We met her at a bar.
What?
I heard you.
We met her at a bar.
Who had to go to England?
Who had to go to England? Nobody. Nobody did not have to go to England.
Sir, did your nephew call you and ask you to lend somebody by the name of Nina money?
No, he didn't mention Nina.
What did he say? Did he say his wife?
His wife, so his kids can visit their grandmother in England. Prior to that, Your Honor, Your Honor, I love my nephew, and I always let him know that he needs something, he can come to me. Prior to that, I lent him $1,000.
Tell me about the $1,000.
Well, he had just got laid off from his job, and he claims to have a 401k coming to him. And
not true, Your
that
Honor.
was
That
a
is
whole...
not true.
Just be quiet.
That's not true.
Just be quiet. For somebody who has so many Ninas, you better be quiet. So just maybe something.
So that was the reason where the money was going to come from that he paid me. And so then he comes and he said, my wife got a, will I send my wife on a trip if my money ain't coming next week? Well, he got $1,000, so I say, well, look, I'll put it all on a credit card. You know, I say, I'll just call up the British Imports and send the tickets right to this house.
And did you do that, sir?
I did that.
Do you have proof of that to show me?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 28 years of age.
Does your wife, Nina, know that you have a friend, Nina?
Yes, she did.
Who went to England?
I had the slightest idea.
Do you know that I'm like a truth machine? Somebody lies to me.
Okay.
I feel it right back here, and I start to get a twitch in this eye. Sir, I've been twitching since you opened your mouth. Because this man isn't lying to me. Now, there may be some
Yes, he
other
is.
nuances to the story.
See, but the thing about it, Your Honor,
But what you're telling me is, I don't know what he's talking about. I never borrowed $1,000 from him. I don't know what he's talking about British Airways and tickets. Like, there's really something wrong with him.
I did not borrow the money from him. I did not borrow the money from him. What happened was, actually, let me explain my side of the story. Okay? There was a friend that I came to him, said that she needed to borrow some money. I didn't know he lent her that money. So he went ahead and lent her a lot of money.
What did you go to him for and even tell him this story?
Why did I go to him? Because at the time we were working out together. We were training. And I knew that his financial, the way when he was working and everything, that he was capable of lending it to her. So I just asked him.
Why would you ask your uncle to lend somebody
would I
who's
ask?
just a friend of yours almost $3,000?
I didn't ask her. I didn't say he. I guess she asked him.
You know something? The truth of the matter is, your lying irritates me a lot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Thompson, is that your uncle over here is making up this whole story about you owing him this money.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And later today,
I give laughter with a message. I'm Brother Dre. Those who know me know that I give world-class service.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Ray Thompson wanted to help his nephew, Lorenzo Thompson, by loaning him money. Now he wants his money back.
It sounds to me as if your uncle, who's a nice man, helped you out when you, according to him, got laid off from your job and came to him and asked you for money.
I never was laid off, Your Honor.
Did you tell him that you needed money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
And so you're telling me he's lying when he said he gave you $1,000?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
He is?
Yes, he is.
You have proof that you gave him $1,000?
No, not the first 1,000, Your Honor. In fact, that's why he kind of had me over the barrel. The British imports were putting it all on a credit card. And I mentioned to him, as long as he pays the notes, everything was okay. And because I don't know anybody from England or British, and that's the only proof I have, is that it was on this credit card. I have personally 9 credit cards, you know, that I use. I didn't touch that card. That was his. And I did balance transfer to lower the interest rates because of lower initial interest rates for him.
Well, Your Honor, he tricked me into getting a credit card under his name so he can transfer all that money to my account under my name, which was going to mess up my credit.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You got one too many Ninas, sir.
Yeah, and I kept both cards, which I have right here. Both we got co-signed for a credit card.
Now, I believe you, sir. How much is built up on this credit card now for this
$5,136. It was. This is the old card now. He came to me, his wife pregnant.
His wife, Nina.
His wife, Nina, gonna have a baby. He just started a new job. His insurance won't cover him on his new job, and the county won't let him get on the county because they claim he got a job. So he needed $2,000. He swore he'll pay me $200 to $500 a week. I knew that he couldn't with 3, 4 kids. But I say, as long as he paid that monthly note, it would be okay.
Not true. So how much money did you give him when his wife was pregnant?
Two more thousand. $2 more cash advance on that last paper right there. That brought the total up to $516. But on that very same day, we filled out for Make America, because I figured now it's time for your name to be on it. So that very same day, we got co-credit cards. I co-signed for him. I'm the original. I keep both cards. He wanted it, but I wouldn't give it to him. On that very same day, as I took out a cash advance on that credit card, we got co-credit cards, and we transferred the money to our co-credit cards.
Well, it got all very complicated,
Okay,
sir.
no.
Did you have a new baby?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And you didn't need any money for the new baby?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You had all the money in the world to pay for it?
Yes, sir. I didn't have all the money in the world, Your Honor.
What
But
kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a certified trainer and also a sales rep at Home Base.
What's Home Base?
Home Base is like a do-it-yourself hardware store.
Mm-hmm. So what you're telling me, Mr. Thompson, is that your uncle over here is making up this whole story about you owing him this money.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. So it comes down to a question of credibility, who I believe, because certainly what he's got here is over the limit of this court, which is $5,000. It's almost $3,000 for just these airline tickets and another $2,000 for the baby, plus another one that he says you lent him right from the beginning, and you say you borrowed nothing. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not borrow anything.
Actually, Your Honor, he paid me one of them. When it was $3,000, he gave me one. It was about Christmas time.
How much did he give you?
$1,000, but $1,200. I paid $200 on the card, and around Christmas time, I gave him the $1,000 back because it was Christmas, and because.
So you gave it to him as a gift?
No, I gave it. I lent him another $1,000 around Christmas time. I lent it back to him because I felt bad. It was Christmas time. So it really is $516, but in order to transfer, we couldn't transfer but $5,000. I had to pay the $136, a $47 finance charge.
Mr. Thompson, let me give you some very good advice, sir. Never lend money to relatives.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
My time is money, and I felt that he hindered my time. I could have been doing other things.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
If you have to lend money to relatives, even if it's difficult, always say to them, listen, I know we're relatives and we love each other, but in order for there not to be any problems in the future, let's just memorialize our agreement with a writing that we both sign. Do you understand, sir?
I understand that now.
Do you understand?
Then
I want you to remember that in the future. I know that when people are dealing with brothers and sisters and nephews and nieces, they find it very difficult to do that because they feel as if they should trust each other.
Well, yeah, I figure he'll pay the notes, $123 monthly notes, but he stopped
You don't
paying
mean the
that.
notes, you mean the monthly payments.
The monthly until he got his lump sum from his 401k. And he stopped paying when it got to $5,000.
All right. Mr. Thompson, take my advice, sir. Take it to heart. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Tell the truth, sir. It's important.
Where's our excuse? You may step out. Back door to your right, please.
And now the next case.
Party's on Black versus Helms. Step forward, please.
40-year-old Simon Black, a jean company owner, says comedian Andre Helm didn't perform long enough at a benefit concert. Simon wants the fee returned. Andre says he performed as promised.
Mr. Black, according to these papers, you were arranging some sort of a function.
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you hired the defendant to perform a comedy act for about a half hour.
Yes, Your Honor.
Supposed to pay him $400. You said he came to that event, performed only 5 minutes. He was paid, and you want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of an event was this?
Well, actually, Your Honor, what it was is that I was promoting my jeans. I own Simon Says Jeans Company. And Mr. Helm was a comedian in the local area. So I hired local talent to perform and to also promote the jeans. We were promoting our new 1-800 number and also promoting, you know, the jeans and myself.
So what happened? What time was he supposed to go on?
Well, Mr. Helm originally was supposed to go on at 2 a.m. And we, instead of going on at 2 a.m., he ended up going on at 2:45. And what happened was...
It's not what he says.
I disagree, Your Honor.
I know that you disagree. So first of all, it's 45 minutes late. Was that his fault or your fault?
Well, actually, it was neither one of our faults. It was basically what it was is that we were waiting for a crowd. And I told Mr. Helm that if he wanted to go on, he could. But, you know, he didn't have a crowd there. You know, he wouldn't get any type of response. So I told him, I said, well, it's up to you. So he said, okay, well, I'll wait, you know, a few more minutes or whatever. And so he waited, and we both waited. And we were both waiting for a large crowd to come in, but...
2 o'clock in the morning, it's hard to get a crowd there, sir.
Yeah, it is. But in St. Louis, a lot of the clubs, they still stay open until at least 7 a.m.
So he went on at 2:45.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
Was
he funny?
Not really.
Was there a crowd at 2:45?
There was a little crowd. It was a small crowd.
Well, how much is a small? How many people are a small crowd?
We probably had an average of about 75 to 100 people there.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but the club holds about 1,100 people. So we were kind of expecting a lot more.
You lump them all together and you put them in front of the stage. It looks like a big group. Right?
Well, basically what happened
That's
was...
what they do at funerals.
Yeah.
So you get a small turnout. They sort of say, could we fill up the front pews? Go ahead.
So anyway, what happened was is that he went on stage. He introduced myself, and he also introduced one of the rap artists. And after that, I didn't see him anymore. My security person, Mr. Flager here, came to me and said, you know, Mr. Helm walked off stage. And so I went to the front door security, and they said, well, yeah, he just left. And I said, maybe he just came out to take a cigarette break. And they said, I don't think so.
Okay, so he left. And you had paid him already?
I already paid him.
All right, Mr. Helms?
Well, I disagree with a few things. First of all, we agreed upon 25 minutes of stand-up. We never agreed that I would host the show, and he came to me at 1 o'clock when I arrived.
When were you supposed to start your stand-up routine?
I was supposed to start at 1 o'clock.
These papers that I have indicate a 1:30 start time.
He wanted me there at 1 o'clock for preparation.
Okay, but you were supposed to go on at 1:30. According to these papers, he says 2 o'clock.
Well,
wasn't it 1:30, sir?
No, Your Honor. It was 2 o'clock because if you look at the radio announcement sheet, it said 2 o'clock, and also on the flyers, on the promotional flyers, it also said 2 o'clock.
Okay. Let's say you were there, and you were going to go on at 2 o'clock. What happened after 2 o'clock?
At 2 o'clock, well, actually at 1 o'clock, he said, let's start at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
At 2:30, he asked me, could we wait a little while longer for a crowd? Now, it's not my responsibility as an entertainer to wait for a crowd. I told Mr. Black, I said I had another engagement that morning. I also told him that there was no one here to do comedy for, but I would work with him. He came back and he asked me, could I host the show? On this brochure, I was never labeled as a guest appearance.
I'll look at all of it.
I was told to go and do 25 minutes in the beginning, and he changed it because he didn't get a good response, whether advertisement or whatever. But he wanted to treat me like a calling card. Use me 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Initially, the show started at 3:15.
Okay, so he says it started at 2:45.
It started at 3:15.
And you say it started at 3:15.
The show started at 3:15, and that's when he asked me to host the show. Now, a host doesn't do stand-up. My prices are a little higher for hosting. I'm a professional comedian.
So what did you say to him when he said, would you host?
I told him I really didn't think that he should go on with the show, but I was there, and I had to leave in ample time to get to my other engagement.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Black,
Yes, Your Honor.
you retained the defendant. You bought his time.
Yes, Your Honor.
You had a program to do. You had to wait for enough people to make it worthwhile to do your program. That's what I'm getting out of this, because that's what common sense suggests to me, that you didn't want him to start his program when there were only 2 people in the audience. Even according to you, it didn't get started until 2:45. He says it was more like 3:15. But by 2:45, you'd already used up the $400 that you paid him. When you retain somebody, you retain them for a time. Because of your promotion, whether it was promotion or lack of interest by the public to come and see what you were doing, he had to wait around. That's unreasonable. I wouldn't like that. His time is his money. So you're not entitled to your money back, because he was there for the amount of time that you paid him for, and the fact that you didn't utilize his services when you were supposed to because of things beyond his control doesn't mean that you get your money back. This lawsuit is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Back to you right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Parties on Perez versus Perez. Step forward, please.
22-year-old Christina Perez is suing her husband's ex-wife, 31-year-old Diana Perez. Christina claims Diana assaulted her during an argument. Diana Perez says she was the one injured.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 246 on the calendar in the matter of Perez versus Perez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
You are the present Mrs. Perez.
Yes, I am.
Mr. Perez, you are Mrs. Perez, the former wife of this gentleman.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, former Mrs. Perez assaulted you.
Yes, she did.
You want damages.
Yes.
She has a counterclaim. She claims that you assaulted her first. She wants similar damages.
No, Your Honor, they didn't do that, anything.
Well, this took place when you were returning the children. There are 2 children?
Yes, actually there's 3.
3 children. To your home after a period of visitation.
Yes.
Is that? So tell me what happened.
Well, we went to go drop off the boys.
How old are the children?
One's 10 and one's 7. We only had the 2 boys with us at the time. We went to go drop them off. It was late that night. My husband wanted to talk to her concerning one of the boys being sexually abused. He spoke with her, tried to work things out, talked to her. She started getting mad. She charged at him, started screaming back and forth at each other. I got in the middle because of the fact that the children were crying and screaming inside the home. And I told my husband, let's go so it won't get out of hand, which she got mad. She struck me on my right side. And after that, my husband did hit her, and she landed inside her house.
Well, when you say she struck you, did she strike you with a fist, her open hand? How did
I didn't see when it was coming. I don't know how she hit me, but she hit me.
Did you have any injuries?
Yes, I did.
What were your injuries?
My jaw shifted. She hit me on the right side, which it shifted my lower jaw to over here, which now I have a torn joint in my jaw, which I have doctor proofs in here. And he did make a little notation on here, but I sustained from it.
How long have you been married to your husband?
I've been with him for 4 years, 3-4 years.
And how long have you been divorced?
4 years.
What was this discussion about one of the children being sexually abused?
During the weekend we had them, their son told us what was going on. My husband called the health and welfare, called the police department, tried to get something done. They said they couldn't do anything about it unless the child was endangered over there, which when we got to their residence, the other child was there at the time, and my husband...
You mean there was some allegation, according to you, that there was another child in the defendant's residence who had been sexually abusing
their children.
Their children. Both boys or just one? And you wanted to talk to her about it?
Yes. Yeah, because this had happened before, like about 2 years before.
Step up here.
Yes, because this had happened before, like about 2 years before. I brought it to her attention, and then she like didn't let me see the kids for about a year.
That's absolutely untrue.
She said that I guess they had taken care of it. I called the health and welfare and everything. They never got back to me. And that's why this ended up like this.
Well, why did you pick this particular time to speak to her when you
because
took the
it's when
children back?
It's the only time when I drop them off, when there's a chance to talk to her, because I really don't talk to her. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate that the two of you can't talk. Did you put your hands on her that evening?
After
Is not an answer. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I did. I hit her.
Why did you hit her?
Because she started charging at me, telling me all this. She took out the little boy that has been sexually abusing my boy. He's like about 5, 6 years older. And she made him confront him. She put them both in front of each other. My little boy, he was shaking. He was scared because he was going to get beat up by this little boy. It's still going to happen. And he was scared and scared. And she started screaming like, what? After she hit my wife, she said, what, are you going to hit him? And I said, no, I'm going to hit you. And that's what happened. I did. I struck her.
How many times?
I don't remember. All I remember is I lost it. It must have been like 3, 4 times.
Were you arrested?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
He has been charged.
And
he has been
my
paid
wife even pulled me off of her because she didn't want that to happen, but still did.
She did not touch her, Your Honor.
How old is this other little boy that's in the house, and how is he related to your former wife?
He's her nephew. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's like about 13, 14.
He's
my little
11.
boy's like 7.
He's 11 years old.
It's 11.
Yes.
Okay, let me come to you. I'd like you to tell me your version of the events of that evening.
Your Honor, can I have the girls stepped out for a minute? I mean, there's some sections here that I would rather them not hear.
Are these your daughters?
This is my daughter, and this is her friend.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Step out.
Just for a minute, and because there's some issues that before, and it involves one of my daughters, and I would rather her not be present when I talk about it. I divorced Mr. Perez because of violence.
Domestic violence.
Yes. During the divorce, because it was really hectic for my children, I took them to counseling. And in one of the counseling sessions, my daughter revealed to the counselor that she was being molested by her grandfather, paternal grandfather.
Paternal?
Yes.
Grandfather.
That was reported to the police and
that's actually...
and whatnot. Mr. Perez in turn countered that and started saying, at this time my nephew was 7 years old, my son was 6, and my other son was 4. In order to get back at me, he started saying that my 7-year-old was molesting my 6 and my 4-year-old. They called child services. We took all the children in for interviewing. And it was determined that the kids were playing. You show me yours, you show me mine. It was that kind of relationship that, at that time. Now, my child, they come to my house that day and saying that my child had told her child, made a comment to her child. I talked to my little boy about this, and we have taken him to counseling also regarding this.
Why did you take him to counseling?
Because they've been so traumatized by all this. You have to understand, Your Honor, these people have been torturing me for 4 years. I mean, between taking me to court, I have been to court about 20 times since I divorced. For protection orders, for getting beaten up, for modification of child support, for everything.
Okay.
Anyway, we were at the house that day. I didn't have any milk, so I had to run to the store. I left my daughter and Veronica in charge. They were there. They came and dropped off the boys, and I wasn't home. I was at the store getting milk, and then I wasn't home. So they called the police on me again, because they called the police on me for everything, saying that the kids were unattended.
So let me understand this. You dropped the children off, and then you called the police.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They didn't ask to be born. You made them. And your primary responsibility is supposed to see to it that they have happy childhoods.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diana Perez is being sued by her ex-husband's new wife, 22-year-old Christina Perez. Christina charges that Diana hit her in the jaw, causing serious injury. But Diana says she was only defending herself.
You dropped the children off, and then you called the police.
No, we didn't drop the children off at that time with the girls. My husband wanted to talk to her regarding their children.
So you kept the children in the car?
Yes, we went to the police department.
Mr. Perez, so you didn't drop the children off?
No.
You put the children back in the car, or they remained in the car?
Yes.
And you drove directly to the police station. And what did you tell the police?
I just told them that she's not there, because she always does this. I'm supposed to drop them off at 7. It was
Just
already
a
like
second.
12 o'clock.
Just a second. What did you tell the police? I didn't ask you your whole history.
Okay, I just told them that basically that's it. That I went to drop them off. I already went like about 4 times. She's not there. And in the divorce decree, it says that I should drop them off at 7, pick them up at 7, and drop them off at 7. That's what it was all about.
How old are these 2 girls?
I think my daughter's 13. I don't know about the other one. I don't even know who she is.
Your daughter is 13?
12.
Or 12, going to 13.
And your 2 sons that you were dropping off?
That time he was 6, and the other one's like 9.
9 and 6?
Yes.
Why couldn't their sister watch them?
I could have left her off, but I wanted to talk to her.
You could have left them off.
Yes.
Now you drove back at 10, and you say she wasn't home at 10. Did you go back to the police again?
No, we called them up.
Called
from our
who?
home, the police department from our home, to let them know that she wasn't home yet and what was going on. We let them know, and they told us we would have to get a hold of the health and welfare.
Just a second. At 10 o'clock, the girls were home.
Yes.
So why didn't you bring the children home instead of calling the police?
Because he wanted to talk to Diana concerning the boys.
It wasn't urgent to talk to her that night. Certainly not urgent enough to call the police. You folks, I don't know about what's happening on her side, the history of what's going on there, but you people are not behaving like responsible parents. You're behaving like vindictive babies. And you're putting your children in the middle, because whenever you bring the police into something, you put the children in the middle. Ridiculous.
Excuse me, Your Honor. The only reason I bring the police into it because there's been a lot of occasions where I get busy or something, and she calls the police department.
That's
and
terrible.
They want to pick me up.
Just a second. You mean you get busy and don't bring the children home on time?
More like I only see him like, sometimes she doesn't really let me see him for 3 or 4 months.
Mr.
So when
Perez.
I do see him, I try to take him out, go do something.
Mr. Perez, I'm hearing a lot of excuses from this end. Now, I don't agree with using children, custodial parents, if they happen to be mothers using the children. I just don't like the vibes that I'm getting over here, sir. Something in my common sense and my training suggests to me that there's a lot more here than I'm going to have time to hear today. How much child support do you pay?
$360 a month.
When was the last time you went back to have that modified?
I'm supposed to be in court tomorrow.
For what?
Modification on it.
Whose modification?
Mine, I guess, yeah.
What do you mean you guess?
Yeah, well, it's mine.
It's your petition to modify downward the order of support?
Yes.
From $360 a month?
Yes.
For 3 children?
Yes.
Why?
Because where I used to work before, I used to make a lot more money, and they closed the plant. I'm out of that job, so I ended up, to be able to pay the child support, I could have got unemployment, but I figured, no, I got to pay my child support, so I went and got another job. It went like 2.5 less an hour, so that's why I'm getting the modification.
How many times have you gone for a modification? Mr. Perez, how many modification petitions have you filed in the last 4 years?
This is it.
This is the second one.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I would like to see the initial police report from you, Mrs. Perez. Can I see it, please? What was the date of this incident, by the way?
Ended up being on the 25th, because it was late that night, so they did 24th, 25th.
Okay. Now let me see the medical bill, please.
These are...
Were you arrested that night, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I knew I did wrong, so I just went and turned myself in.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And this is what I looked like after I got beat up by him.
It would have been worse, Diana. He could have killed you there.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gabriel Perez's current wife, Cristina Perez, is suing Gabriel's ex-wife, Diana Perez, claiming Diana assaulted her during an argument. Diana says her ex-husband injured her.
You didn't go to see a doctor until 2 days after this incident. Mrs. Perez, is that right?
I went right the next day, Your Honor.
No. 2 days later. This happened on the 24th. You went and just
Actually, it was the 25th late that night. And the police officer did neglect me medical attention, so I had to go on my own.
He neglected?
Yes, he did.
Did you go to the doctor before or after your husband was arrested for assault?
I went after.
Yeah, I got it. Now, I understand it. You don't get $5,000 for a slap. I don't see anything here about injuries, madam. And I don't know why you got in between these two people. I have no idea. You had no business being there. You had no business getting in between these two people. Now, you, with regard to your counterclaim, are suing the wrong person.
Pardon me?
You're suing the wrong person.
Oh.
He's the one you should be suing.
I know.
He was the one who injured you. And according to the police reports here, you were pretty severely beaten. He sort of acknowledges that he severely beat you. He lost it. I assume that it's not the first time he lost it.
No.
Yes, it was.
Baloney.
Never hit her before.
Well, then maybe the other times that you hit her,
I've
you
never
hit her on
before.
purpose.
Never hit her before.
You two people present a very sad commentary on what happens when people separate. You are remarried, you have a new wife. You have any new children with your new wife?
Yes, I do.
How many children?
2.
2. Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Do you work inside the house or outside
Inside the house.
In the house.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I have a child daycare, which I am licensed to have one.
Fine.
I went to school for it.
That's good. All right, because I assume you know he has prior financial obligations to the 3 children that he had before
Yes,
he
Your
made
Honor,
more
I've
children.
been divorced before. I know how it goes. I was dealing with her before with the child custody of the kids so they could visit their father. I would talk for both of them.
Well, that's a big mistake.
Yes, it is a big mistake.
Big
but
mistake.
I tried to get them to do
especially
it.
when, Mrs. Perez, it's a big mistake, especially when a portion of your husband's salary is going to support his other 3 children. And there's not a lot of money to go around, so that makes you a little bit irritated.
I know he has obligations, which
Well,
is okay with me, because $360 a month is not even hardly enough to support
It
the
sure
children.
isn't, especially when he's going to have it reduced. $360 for 3 children a month doesn't keep a cocker spaniel in puppy chow. Certainly not 3 growing children. So, I don't believe she injured you, madam. I don't believe that this slap, which you refer to as a slap, caused you any injury whatsoever. Let me tell you what I think.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
What I think is that you got very nervous when your husband lost it and was arrested for assaulting her because he assaulted her and you know he injured her.
Yes,
because,
I know that's right.
Because,
I tried to
because
prevent
according
it.
to these reports, there was blood all over the place. According to the reports by the police, there was blood all over the place. So then I believe that you and your husband came up with this story to try to soften it a little bit, that she was the one who instigated the whole thing by assaulting you. Now, you were not denied assistance by the police. There were no visible signs of any injury on you when the police arrived. None whatsoever. Your case is dismissed. You, on the other hand, madam, are suing the wrong person civilly. He's the one you ought to be suing. I suggest that you do it so that you can get damages from him. So the next time he loses his temper, he'll know what's going to cost him.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as your children are concerned, you got to do the right thing with regard to your children. If he has a legitimate concern with regard to what's going on in your house with a now 12 or 13-year-old, you have to take that very seriously.
Yes, I do.
And you have to stop thinking that it's just in retaliation. If it's true that when he confronted you with this allegation, you put both boys together, very bad thing to do. You have to be protective of your own child.
Yes, definitely.
And make sure that this is not going on in your home, because very
Definitely.
often parents are the last to know.
Definitely.
You have to stop abusing the system, sir. Abusing the police system, abusing the child welfare system, in order to gain an upper hand in whatever kind of proceedings you have, whether they be support proceedings, whether they be visitation proceedings, whether they be custody proceedings. And the two of you have to recognize that together you made 3 children. The 3 children are the innocents. They didn't ask to be born. You made them. And your primary responsibility is supposed to see to it that they have happy childhoods. And right now, you're not doing that. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy...
Step forward.
33-year-old Jackie Harder is suing her ex-husband's new girlfriend, 38-year-old Denise Novo, for defamation of character. Jackie alleges that Denise passed out flyers in her neighborhood accusing her of being a child abuser. Denise says the flyers are true.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 244 on the calendar in the matter of Harder versus Novo. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, please. Have a seat, ma'am.
Ms. Harder, the defendant, according to your papers, is the present girlfriend of your former husband.
Correct.
Who you allege defamed you.
Yes.
In your community by slandering you and by publishing flyers demeaning your character and saying things about your children.
Yes.
Well, is this the ex-husband?
Yes.
Do you not get along with each other?
No.
You don't get along with him and you don't get along with her?
No. I get along with him if she's not involved.
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
9 and 6.
And how long have you been divorced?
6 years.
So you were married for a short period of time.
5 years.
Tell me about this defamation.
I have a copy of the flyer right here. I moved into a new home October of '96, and in February, my neighbors came to me, 3 separate neighbors came to me on one Sunday afternoon and said that prior to me moving in, a strange woman had gone through the neighborhood, knocked on the door, and handed out these flyers.
Can I see them, please? Stop. I've read your answer. Now, according to your answer, you don't deny that you went up to some of the neighbors in the new place where she was moving in and had conversations with them, correct?
Correct.
You didn't discuss these flyers in your answer, but I assume these flyers are flyers that you gave to them. Is that correct?
1. Correct.
So why don't you explain why?
They were meant for a telephone pole.
What?
They were meant for a telephone pole in the neighborhood because we were concerned for the children.
Who was concerned for what children?
I, myself, and the father of the children were very concerned of situations that the children were discussing with both I and the father about some abuse towards them from their mother and the mother's boyfriend.
Step up here.
And we can no longer turn our cheek.
Step up here. You have concerns about your children, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you go to the family court?
I went to the family.
You went to the family court?
No, I didn't go to the family court. I called Child Protective Service.
I didn't ask you if you called Child Protective Services. You chewing gum?
Yes, ma'am.
Get rid of it. I said if you are concerned about your children, why didn't you go to the family court and say, I am concerned about my children, and I think that perhaps we should entertain a different kind of custody arrangement for the children. Why didn't you do that?
I did do that. I went to mediation.
Good.
A mediation. We
Good.
went
And what
through-
happened as a result of the mediation?
What happened in mediation?
Yes.
What happened in mediation?
Try to remember, so they're your children. Did you
I
get
know
your
they're my
children?
children.
Did you get your children?
Yes, I did get my children.
So you got custody of your children?
Right.
So then
No, I
what are
didn't
we
get
doing
custody
here?
of my...
No.
I didn't get custody.
Just a second.
I didn't get custody of them. I got visitation.
Good. Now, after you had visitation with your children, according to your girlfriend, the two of you became very concerned about the children's welfare.
Right.
So why didn't you go back to court and say, circumstances have changed. I would like to have a hearing with regard to custody of my children. I would like my children to have their own attorney that they can speak to, right? And resolve the matter in an orderly fashion as you did with your visitation request. Why didn't you do that?
Well, the man that I was talking to, the mediator, he said if there was any problems to come back and talk to him. There was a statement that he issued, and it was a court order, that she not degrade me in front of the kids and to leave me alone.
Degrading you in front of the children.
Right.
That's your primary concern.
No, it's not my primary concern, but these children are going, they're not, how do you say it? Excuse me, I'm not well spoken. But my children are going through hell right now.
You think that this makes it better?
Well, I think I've already gone to the Child Protective Services. I went through the school. Nobody
If you
else
went to
would help
Child
me.
Protective Services, that means that Child Protective Services did an investigation.
Yes, they did.
And did they take any action?
No, they didn't.
And how many times did you go to Child Protective Services?
3 times.
And of the 3 times that you went there, was any action taken, any case filed against their mother?
There's an open case, but no, nothing was filed against her.
And the children remain in her care?
Yes.
Do you have any children, madam?
Yes, I do.
Where are they?
She's 17 years old.
That's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you how old she is. I said, where is she?
She's at home waiting for a job interview.
At home where?
In Santa Barbara.
Is that where you live?
Yes, that is.
So she lives with the 2 of you?
Yes, she does.
She finished school?
No, she hasn't.
Why not?
She's a junior in high school.
I don't understand what you mean. She's waiting for a job interview.
She has independent studies.
Why?
I pulled her out of the school system.
Why?
I don't like the high school near my home.
Mm-hmm. Is that your only child?
Yes, it is.
And when did you pull her out of school? How old was she?
September of 96.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been living in the same place, sir?
Since, no, it's, what?
Don't ask her.
Oh, I'm not good with dates, excuse me.
You're not good with language and you're not good with dates. What are you good at?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you ever pull your kids out of school, Bird, to put them in independent studies?
No, Judge, not
I had 5 kids. I never pulled my kids out of school for independent studies.
And later today,
when I started expressing my concerns, she sent me socks saying that I had cold feet.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 33-year-old Jackie Harder is charging her ex-husband's new girlfriend, Denise Novo, with defamation of character. Jackie says when she moved into a new neighborhood, Denise passed out flyers to the neighbors, falsely accusing her of being a child abuser. Denise says that it's true.
You two must be very smart people in order to teach this child yourself. He doesn't know dates, he doesn't know anything, and you do this. This is outrageous! This is outrageous! You are a mean, vindictive woman who could do this. She's moving into a new place. You didn't get what you want when you call Child Protective Services. They conduct no less than 3 investigations against her. They find absolutely no basis to remove the children, so you decide to make a little trouble, make her life a little bit miserable. And you go around before she moves into the community, and you plaster things up around the community. She says she gave it out to people. Genius over here says it was supposed to be on telephone poles. All right? I want to tell you something. If I were the family court judge, not a mediator, but if I were the family court judge who was deciding visitation with your children, you, sir, would see your children under a supervised visitation arrangement only. And I am a very serious proponent of fathers having as unrestricted quality time, if they are not the custodial parents of children, as is possible, because I always believe that that's in a child's best interest, to have the love and companionship of both biological parents. It's always been my view. I'm a serious proponent of that, but not, sir, when you live with this kind of witch. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Whatever counterclaim there is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Licht versus Water. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Reverend Howard Licht is suing his former fiancée, 39-year-old Stephanie Warder, for not returning the engagement ring after they called off their wedding. Stephanie says she was embarrassed by his change of heart.
Simple case. You are Reverend Licht?
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Warder, according to these papers, you became engaged to each other. You purchased an engagement ring for the defendant. You changed your mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Called off the wedding. Want the ring back.
Yes.
That's pretty simple. How long were you engaged before you changed your mind, sir?
A couple of months, Your Honor.
Why don't you think 4 months? All right, Miss Warden. Water. Is that the way you pronounce it, Water? Why don't you tell me why you think he is not entitled to his ring back?
Well, after he proposed to me and I said yes, I started planning for the wedding. I bought a wedding dress, hired a wedding coordinator, worked on getting the tuxes and the bridal dresses. I had my whole church involved in planning this wedding. And then he calls it off, but doesn't really call it off. He says, well, why don't we just postpone the wedding? It's okay, we can do that. But then he never would talk to me, with no communications whatsoever. Every time I tried to talk to him, he would be abrupt with me, sure had something else to do. And I thought we were trying to work this out.
Did you know why he had called off the wedding or why he wanted to postpone it?
He said that he didn't like the way I talked to waiters and waitresses.
Is that the reason you gave her?
That was among other things, yes. At one point, we had a discussion about her having her hair done, and I was curious. She had told me that she had a speaking relationship with her stylist, and I said, well, what did your stylist think about the hairstyle you wanted? And she told me in no uncertain terms that her stylist had nothing to do with her decision. She was capable of making decisions on her own. It took me aback. I work with a lot of people. I listen to a lot of professional opinions, and while I may not always follow those opinions, when I make my decision, they are informed. I just began to think about what's the marriage going to be like if she makes all the decisions without any input.
I did have input from people, but the final decision is mine when it deals with my hair or something that deals with me, my car, my house, or whatever, because I am the one that has to live with those decisions.
Have you been married before?
No, I have never been married before.
But you have, sir.
Yes.
Never
According
been
to
engaged.
these papers, a couple of times.
Yes, ma'am.
And engaged a few more times.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
I was going to ask, but as long as you did.
Well, there have been a number of engagements.
Altogether, how many times?
I would say probably 7 or 8 different times.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He would get me upset about this or wanting to talk. And then, of course, it was time to go to bed because he had to get up and preach the next morning.
Real people, Judge Judy. 39-year-old Stephanie Warder says when her fiancé, 42-year-old Reverend Howard Licht, broke off their engagement, she had already spent hundreds of dollars planning the wedding. So she kept the engagement ring to help make up for the loss.
Miss Warder, how much did you actually spend on planning the wedding? your dress, things that you could not return.
I spent probably with the dress and the plane tickets to fly down to visit him, around $1,000.
I'm not talking about the plane tickets to fly down to visit him. I'm talking about you paid for your dress.
Right.
Were you able to get the money back?
No.
And how much was the dress?
$640.
And did you give any money to your wedding coordinator?
No, because she was a friend of mine and she decided not to.
That's not a big deal.
I've never been married before. I've never been engaged before either. This was the time that I was going to do it. I was 39 years old when he proposed to me. I didn't think I should have any problem about taking the wedding dress back because this was going to be it.
When you accepted this ring, did you know that he had been married twice before?
Yes, I did.
When you accepted the ring, did you know that he had been engaged 8 times before?
Yes, I did. But I also decided that I should not hold his past against him.
Well, I'm not suggesting that you hold his past against him, but when somebody has an argument with you because they don't like the way you talk to your hairdresser, I would suggest to you that there's a problem.
That was after the engagement, not before.
You mean after you were engaged already?
Right.
You're probably lucky. Where's the ring?
I don't have the ring.
Where is it?
It's at home in a safe place. I'm keeping the ring because he gave it to me. It's very important. It meant a whole lot to me.
What do you plan on doing with it, Miss Water?
Wearing it on my right hand. It's a nice dinner ring.
Good. How much did you pay for the ring, sir?
$2,200.
You paid $2,200? Let me see the receipt. Now, Miss Water, I'm not going to send a posse to your house to get the ring. It's up to you, but if, you know...
I'm not going to give this ring back.
Well, then you're going to have to pay for it, madam. Listen to me.
So
let me explain why to you, because I think that that's fair. There's a difference between a broken engagement and breaking up a marriage. This guy clearly has some problems. If he makes a big Megillah over your hairstylist, that's not somebody that I, after waiting 39 years, would want to hang my hopes on for a happy future. So you're probably very lucky that it ended when it did after 4 months. The fact that it was an embarrassment to you, I can understand. But an engagement ring is given as a promise, as sort of a contract in anticipation of getting married.
I did not break that contract.
I understand that. It doesn't make any difference. In my view, it doesn't make any difference because whoever breaks the contract, both parties are usually better off. I mean, are you suggesting to me that you would have wanted to have married this man, gone through with the ceremony, and found out what you know about him now 3 or 4 or 5 weeks after you got married, or 5 months after you got married, or perhaps after you had children together? Come on, be smart. You're getting away cheap. So, in my view, irrespective of whose fault it is, of who's willing to stand up and say...
Why should he get back everything when I am the one who's the loser here?
Just a second. I'm going to see to it that you get back the money for your dress. That's going to be deducted from the cost of the ring. Absolutely. Now, if you're prepared to give him back the ring, I'm prepared to enter a judgment against him for the cost of the dress. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't think that because he changed his mind, you should find yourself in a position of being out financially. Doesn't that sound fair?
Yeah, the humiliation that goes along with it, too.
Well, but you know, you have to balance the humiliation, Miss Water.
And my whole church knew.
I know.
His church did not know. Even my mailman knew that I was getting married. This was very important to me.
I understand. Would you have preferred to have married him? And then been wife number 3?
At this moment, no.
There you go. So that's the answer.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Your Honor, will that be a monetary judgment for the balance?
Well, unless I could convince Miss Water that she ought to give up this ring because it's going to be a constant reminder of this very bad period of time.
It is not a reminder of bad times for me. It's a reminder of all the good times for me.
Okay.
I am not giving it back.
Very good. I am deducting the $640 for her wedding dress, sir. $1,560 for the plaintiff. Consider yourself lucky, Miss Water. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next
Oshman versus Stimson. Step forward, please.
27-year-old Carolyn Oshman is suing 31-year-old Frank Stimson for assault. Carolyn alleges she suffered injuries after Frank hit her during a traffic dispute. He says she kicked him first.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please. Now, this is case number 233 on the calendar in the matter of Oshman versus Stimson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am, sir.
All right, this case involves a traffic dispute. Miss Oshman, you look like an otherwise intelligent lady. Got yourself involved with this dispute. You want to tell me about it, please?
It was Saturday night, and I was going to get dinner for my husband. I was waiting at a left-hand turn on Sherman Way, which is a busy street. And
what kind of a car were you driving?
I was driving a rental car. It was a little Mercury Mystique, I believe. And I was sitting there waiting for traffic to go. There was 2 more cars that needed to go by. It was a little distance between, but not enough. And while I was sitting there, another car came up and started blaring on the horn at me. Didn't let off. So I waited, made my turn. The car tailgated me and followed me into the parking lot where I was going, which was another left in there. And so I turned down the first row of cars, you know, trying to go where I needed to go and get out of the way. And started to go towards the right, and car, you know, kind of punched it a little bit to the right, so I just stopped, figuring, go around me. I'm not moving. And I had a
And it
dog.
was the same car that had been
Yeah, it
blowing
was the same one
the
tailgating
horn.
me.
What kind of car was that?
Well, I couldn't tell until it was later, and it was a '81 Toyota truck.
Truck?
Little pickup. It was small.
Driver. Go.
And so anyway, then when I stopped, I had a dog in the car that I was trying to adopt. And so I checked on the dog, just because she's nervous anyway. And when I looked up, there was, you know, the defendant was walking down towards me, you know, towards my car. So I locked the door, and he came up, kneeled down, and told me I got my license from a Cracker Jack box. And so he kneeled there for a second, paused, he got up, and leaned forward and spit through the crack I had in my window, in my face. So, and then he turned around and walked back, and I got out to get his license plate. His car was parked like maybe an inch off of mine, and what I could see, there was no plate. So I started to walk back, and when I started to walk, he turned around again, and so I yelled at him for spitting in my face, and he turned around and we ended up in a kicking fight. He started kicking me, so I kicked him back, and finally I just, you know, I didn't kick it, but I pushed the door with my foot, because it was at an angle and he was on one side, and it pushed him back into the truck. So I went back to my car, and as I was walking back to the car, he came up and grabbed me by the shoulder and kind of pushed me and started to beat up the car, tried kicking my car. Then he turned around and came at me again. So, you know, he ended up spitting in my face. So I was holding him back because he was walking at me. And by the time we kind of did like a circle and came back by the car, and the car was on the side of me. So I was, you know, while I'm holding him back, there was a girl that came walking down from the other side, you know, quickly at us. So I glanced at her, and when I glanced at her, he hit me in the jaw. So.
And then what happened?
Well, my head went that way, and then I turned around and I ducked. And when I did that, I ended up ripping his shirt because I was still holding. And somebody grabbed my arm, you know, for the other direction. So I went that way, and when I looked up, he had 4 or 5 people holding him back. So I went back again to try to get the license plate, and I guess they let him go because I was probably about halfway down there, and he came back and he started pushing me, and I walked like a big circle to the back, and finally got the plate, you know, and he turned around and left once he realized, I guess, what I got.
All right. What kind of medical costs did you have?
I've got chiropractic and for my my jaw. It was actually, it's a specialist. He went through 2 referrals to get to it. He wants, together they're like 44, 60-something, 64 right now. Here's another one. This goes with it. That's all, everything. The bill's right behind it.
I have a lot of questions to ask you.
Okay.
The first one that comes to my mind, as a woman, if some nut comes up to your car and you know that he's been tailgating you, and I don't think that there's any question that he was tailing you, because I read your complaint and I read his answer. So common sense suggests to me he was annoyed, honking his horn. You live in California? It's surprising. People in California don't blow their horns a lot. You know, people in New York blow their horns if you know, delayed a split second. Here, everybody sort of hangs out and gives you a chance. I found the drivers here very polite. So, where are you from?
California?
Well, you didn't learn the rules, sir. The rules are you're not supposed to honk your horn.
I beeped my horn briefly. I did not lay on the horn.
I didn't say lay on the horn. I said honk your horn. You honked your horn.
Yes, I did. If someone sits at a green light with no oncoming cars for a good 10 to 15 seconds, they either have car problems or they're just ignorant.
Well, maybe she had car problems.
She obviously didn't.
I'll get to you in a minute. It's going to be interesting. I'm not finished with you yet because I'm trying to figure out whether you have all your screws.
Okay.
He comes up to your car, says something that is, it's aggressive. It's aggressive because he stopped his car, he's gotten out of his car, he's approached your car, and you don't know whether he's a nut, right? Somebody dangerous, or just a flake, right? You have your window open a little bit. According to you, he spits in your face. And you get out of the car?
Yeah, I did.
Who are you?
I'm Dan Moran. I witnessed what happened that night.
Wonderful. Perfect. You would agree with me, Mr. Moran, that that's pretty stupid.
That was my first question.
Perfect. For that, you don't have an answer.
No. Well, I wanted his plate.
Your life is more important than his license plate.
True.
And then, after he's put his hands on you, after he struck you in the jaw, after all of that, you still wanted his plate.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want to tell you something. Somebody spits at me, and you had a lot more than a couple of scratches on your body. A lot!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 27-year-old Carolyn Oshrin is suing 31-year-old Frank Stimson for assault during a traffic dispute. Frank admits he insulted Carolyn, but denies her allegations of assault.
Now your version.
I drove up to the light. She was at the light in front of me, a green light. No traffic was oncoming at that time. I waited for about 10 to 15 seconds. I beeped my horn briefly. She pulled forward approximately 5 to 10 feet and slammed on her brakes. I waited, kind of scratched my head and said, wow, what's that about? She pulled forward through the intersection after that, and when she got into the crosswalk on the other side, she slammed on her brakes again. I sat in the middle of the street with the car coming towards the passenger side of my car, and then the same thing happened again in the next driveway. She consistently tried to get me to rear-end her.
No, she wasn't. She was probably trying to irritate you. This lady, what do you think? She's a scam artist? She's trying to get you to rear-end her? No, she was trying to irritate you like you irritated her.
She's driving a rental car. She doesn't care about the car. She wants money. That's why we're here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me hear.
When we got in the parking lot, she moved along at a snail's pace.
Just a second. How many lanes are there in the parking lot?
There's one going forward and one going the opposite way.
So there's only one way that you could have gone? Is that what you're telling me? Because there's a witness here.
Yes. There's
only one lane that you can go to.
No, I was following her because I wanted to ask her why she was trying to get me to hit her.
That's right. So you were following her?
At that point, yes.
Okay. Why were you following her?
Why was I following her? Because we were both happened to be going the same way at the time. I was going in to develop some film. I don't know why she pulled in the parking lot.
Just a second. You don't... Stupid isn't written here. You just told me that you were following her. That's what you told me. You could have avoided the confrontation by just going in a different direction. So, you stopped your truck, and you got out of your truck, and you walked over to her side, to the driver's window. And what happened at the driver's window?
I had asked her if she got her driver's license out of a Cracker Jack box.
And she said?
She didn't say anything. She just stared at me and laughed.
And what did you do?
I laughed back. I told her that she was kind of a ridiculous driver, acting like a child, and she should go get a real driver's license.
Did you spit at her?
No, I did not.
Oh, I think you're lying.
I did not. I may have used lots of profanity, but I did not spit
What do
at
you
her.
may have used lots of profanity?
I was kind of upset. Anytime someone tries to get rear-ended, something's wrong with them. I told
She
her
wasn't
what I
trying to
thought.
get rear-ended, sir.
She was. If you do this 5 to 6 times, slam on your brakes, that's not normal.
You know what's not normal? Not normal is looking for trouble. Now,
That's what she was doing.
No, listen to me. You started it. She continued it. Right?
Okay.
Is that right? You were annoyed that he honked his horn. Correct?
Yeah, I was annoyed.
So that when you got to the intersection, when you made your turn, and he was following you, you figured, I'm going to give him a little bit of agita. And you slowed down. Is that right?
I went slow because it wasn't far to turn.
And you went slow because you knew that he was behind you. That's what happened. Right?
Yeah, but there's another lane there too, so...
I understand that. He could have gone around you.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. So you were being dumb.
Okay.
And he was being dumb. So, I don't think you would have gotten out of your car if he had not spit at you.
Nope.
Because there would have been no basis for her, sir, to try at that point to get your plate. None whatsoever. So I believe that you spit at her while using profanity. Now,
I used lots of profanity. I
step
did
up
not
here,
spit.
sir.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
know this lady?
No, I don't.
Do you know this gentleman?
No, I don't.
I'm going to settle this right now. Tell me what you saw.
When I was finished doing my shopping there in the center, I have a convertible car, so I saw everything. It was very unusual. They were making a left turn into the parking lot from Sherman Way into the driveway. It's a very short distance. I see these two cars come in, and the guy was no further than this far behind her, bumper, right on her butt, right on the bumper. He gets out, and at first I'm thinking, well, is this like from a movie? It's like, it was so surreal that, well, it must be a couple, they must be fighting, a domestic dispute, something like that. But what happened, this guy gets out of his car and starts screaming at her. She's got a little crack like that in the window. And I'm like, what is this? And he spits at her, puts a big old loogie on her. And I at first I said, well, when I saw her get out of the car, I thought, well, it must be a domestic thing. Hey, I got on the cell phone. I called the police right away. And then all of a sudden, there's 5 other guys on top of this dude trying to restrain him from beating her up. I don't blame her for jumping out of her car. This guy was totally out of control, very out of line. So
See what happens? Sometimes you have an independent witness, sir.
He is not an independent witness.
Oh, tell
Nobody
me.
put their hands on me.
Just a
but
second.
Her.
Just a second.
I should be able to state the rest of my case.
I'm going to let you. I just want you to listen to him before you state the rest of your case.
How close
he doesn't
was he?
know. He doesn't know.
How can he see any of this?
He just told you. He was in his convertible car. He saw exactly how you came in. Is that right, sir?
The cars were no further than the edge of that table
away
there.
were you?
I was right to the right side of it. So I saw all
And
the...
you were the one who called the police.
From my cell phone, yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You got to go on the women's wrestling team, man. You have a nice day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 27-year-old Carolyn Oshrin and Frank Stimson are in court after a traffic dispute turned violent. Both motorists claim they were assaulted during their argument in a parking lot.
Mr. Stimson, tell me the rest of your case, sir.
Okay, so when I started walking away after I gave her a piece of my mind, not my lungs, I started walking away. She exited her car, ran towards me. I backed up. She ran over and kicked the side of my truck. I said, if that's what you want to do, I went over and kicked her car. She said, it's not my car anyway, ha, ha, ha. And started yelling and screaming at me. She came at me. She tried to kick me approximately 20 to 30 times, at least, swinging at me. At one point, she got a hold of my shirt and she socked me in the face. At that point, and only at that point, did I raise a hand, and I pushed her away to try to get away from her. And I have a witness sitting right here who watched the whole thing also.
Step up. Name?
Marcia Gerard. We were turning left, and it was a long time before she did turn. And she did make a couple of breaks before she entered the driveway, and then stopped at the crosswalk. Then we followed her in, or Frank followed her in, turned left, and followed right behind her. He did get out of the car, went to her, and I...
Just a second. Now, you're in the car. What is he saying to you as he's pulling up behind her?
He's just saying, what is wrong? You know, is there something wrong with this lady, or
no,
the person?
exactly what is he saying? I don't think that this man said, I wonder what's wrong with
No,
this
he
lady.
did. He said, what is wrong? Does she not go, or is she sick, or something? Is there something wrong?
He thought she might be sick. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
something,
telling
or
me?
else she's injured or something. I mean, she would not go. He honked the horn a couple of times.
So he thought she might be injured, so he ran up to the car and, according to him, said, did you get your license from a Cracker Jack box?
Yes.
He didn't go up to the car and say, are you all right?
No.
So he wasn't so concerned that she was sick, because that's what you would do if somebody is sick. Well, are you an intelligent woman?
Yes, I am.
Did you say to him, Frank, don't get out of the car. This isn't worth... What are you getting out of the car for? Did you say that to him?
No.
Why not?
I just figured he'd handle it himself.
Sir.
One important fact that hasn't been brought up yet, this clown, after he assaulted this woman, this clown left the scene.
I was the one that was
He
assaulted,
left
sir.
the scene. He drove away as the police were arriving and went home, I guess, and made the call, because the police got the call because he knew he had screwed up and filed a claim against her, which is totally wrong.
It's so easy when you have an eyewitness who's not related to anybody. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I work in retailing as a business consultant.
Well, first of all, sir, I thank you for coming to court today. Too often citizens who see something happen don't participate in the process.
I felt it was my civic duty, ma'am.
You waited for the police?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Stayed through the whole thing. She was traumatized.
Well, I want to tell you something. She may be traumatized, but she's not smart.
Well,
She was just lucky
Yes.
that he didn't have more than his spit
Yeah.
to hurl at her.
Yeah.
Because he might have, and then she would have been in real trouble.
Very true.
So I hope, madam, that you learned a lesson. A car is a dangerous thing. You don't use it to get even. You don't use it to, you just don't do that. It's not smart. But if you're involved in a dispute with somebody, whether you're a man or a woman, you stay in your car. And if you have a phone in your car, terrific. Otherwise, you drive around and look for a police officer or for somebody else and say, could you please call 911? You don't get out of your car, because otherwise you wind up with that sort of injury.
True.
I would like to say I've got pictures. Now, I was the one attacked here, and if your statement is so correct, why don't you state what you really saw as far as the altercation went, to where a man is backing away from a woman and a woman is coming at him aggressively, swinging, kicking, and flailing. Thank you.
Just answer me.
Obviously, this man was filled with road rage. And it's very obvious. The way that he pulled in right on, it was so weird. You see someone pulling in
have
apart.
anything to do with
Excuse me,
physical
I have
abuse,
the floor.
Just a
Excuse
second.
me.
Did you see her assault him?
No, not at all.
Did you see anybody kick a car?
You're at fault here, fella.
Did you see anybody
stop
kick a
fighting
car?
with each other. Listen to me. I heard enough.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You're suing him for $5,000. You're counterclaiming for $2,000.
Yes.
You, sir.
Would you like to see the physical abuse? I've got pictures.
Oh, sure. I'll take a look at
many
your pictures.
scratches.
I'll take a look
and
at your pictures.
abrasions.
I'll take a look at your pictures, sir. I want to tell you something. Somebody spits at me, and there isn't a question in my mind that you spit at her. Somebody did it to me. You would have had a lot more than a couple of scratches on your body. A lot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Judgment
If I
in this
had
case is
spit
for the
at-
plaintiff in
if
the
I
amount
had
of
spit at her.
$5,000, and the countersuit is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And
Senna versus McLean. Step forward, please.
37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean. Deborah charges that Ms. McLean failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McLean says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Senna versus McLean. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Let me see if I understand this complaint. Miss Senna, you have a young daughter.
Yes, I do.
This is your daughter, Miss McLean.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter had been involved in modeling as a younger child, and probably even today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Miss Senna, don't look at your papers. Look at me. According to your complaint, you two ladies became acquainted. You were approached by the defendant, asked if you would like to sponsor her daughter in an upcoming beauty pageant. Is that right?
Yes.
And what was the sponsorship cost?
Well, I guess the sponsorship was, I asked her, she said $185.
So that's what it cost to sponsor. And what else did she say to you?
That she would put my daughter in a beauty pageant that she was running, that she was having, and she would be able to get my daughter into another beauty pageant if she was to get into this first one, which was at the Fallbrook Community Center.
So according to you, you had an agreement with her that if you sponsored her daughter at the cost of $185, she would make sure that your daughter would be in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And that's why you sponsored her.
Yes.
And you say...
And I say, yes, she did sponsor my daughter. My daughter had gone to her. She was babysitting for her at the time. And she sponsored my daughter to be in a beauty pageant. My daughter did go into the beauty pageant. She won the beauty pageant. At about 2 months later, I did tell her I was going to have a preliminary pageant for another state pageant, and that I would in turn let her daughter go into the pageant at no cost. But at the time my daughter had won this one, we didn't even know we were going to have a beauty pageant. At the time I was supposed to have the beauty pageant, I didn't have it. My mother's mother, my grandmother, had died, and I couldn't have the pageant, and I had to go to Kentucky for the funeral, so I didn't.
So there was never another pageant which this lovely little girl in purple could participate?
Deborah Senna had called me quite a few times and said that she, once she found out I was not going to have the Fallbrook pageant, said that I promised her. I said, I told you you could be, your daughter could be at a pageant at no cost, and I told her that I would just put her daughter in the state pageant with no.
So there was some sort of an understanding that her daughter was going to be in a beauty pageant with your assistance.
Not at the time of her sponsorship. That was not a gift. That was a gift to Casey. It was 2 months later. I told her I would, since she did sponsor Casey, I would put her daughter in a pageant. But that was not a stipulation.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I want to know at the time that you. By the way, I assume you have proof of this $185.
Yes,
you have a cancel check?
Yes.
Well, then could you tell me why you're suing her for $300 and some odd dollars?
Well, $185 was for the check, and then $100 for my daughter. And
$100 for your daughter for what?
Just because my daughter talked about this pageant. Her daughter, Casey, came to my house and babysat and had my daughter all pumped up for this pageant. She had my daughter walking with books on her head, getting her ready and telling her what to do for this pageant. She talked about it to her friends. She was heartbroken about this.
So it's for sort of punitive damages that you're asking money for?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're counter-suing her for $2,500 for some nonsense because you say she harassed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how did she harass you?
When she would call my house repeatedly, sometimes 3-4 times a day. She would swear. The swearing was unbelievable. She came into my place of employment, went to my boss, stated facts that weren't true.
Like what? Were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She said that I was a bitch and I was a whore, and that I had no reasonable reason to be a mother, and that I owed her money, and that Ron, my boss, should get the money from me. and she would
Does
call
that
my
sound
house.
familiar?
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. That is a big lie. That is a big lie.
You...
Your Honor. Well, the things on the phone, she repeatedly called me. She told me I was a whore just like my mother. Called me an F&B. And I've been taught to give adults respect, but I expect respect from them. And it's something me and my mother have not been getting from her.
Did you make those statements to this
No,
young
ma'am,
lady?
I did not. I called, and Casey told me on the telephone, I cannot talk to you about this.
Why didn't... Are you in a business?
I have a business, Tony's Masonry. It's my husband's business.
When you sponsored someone,
yes,
their name appears on a program or something. Do you have that program?
I never got a program, ma'am.
Do you have it?
I don't have a program. It happened a year and a half ago. We recently moved 5 months ago. But I do have a copy of a normal sponsorship agreement saying that there was no refunds are available.
Just a second. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you one thing. I asked you for apples. You gave me mashed potatoes.
I'm sorry.
Okay? What I asked you is, I assume... Put it down. I assume that if your daughter is in the pageant industry, that you keep a scrapbook. And I assume that you keep all the memorabilia from all of her pageants. That only sounds like common sense to me. Put your hand down. I'm really smart. So I assume you have all of the books from your daughter's pageant.
5 months ago we moved and I told Casey to get rid of all of that stuff she was collecting.
How many pageants have you been in?
Around 15.
That's not a lot to keep. Especially one that you won. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Especially a pageant that you won, you don't get rid of. You keep this, but you keep the crown, but you don't keep the program.
Right.
That doesn't sound logical to me. Why didn't you pay for this $185 yourself?
I didn't even start this process. Casey went to Deborah and asked for a sponsorship.
Did you initially have the conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
When?
One time I was babysitting for her daughter.
And what did you say to her?
I said, Debbie, I'm entering a beauty pageant, and if I would like to be in it, I have to pay for it myself or figure out a sponsorship to go into the pageant. So I asked Debbie, since I was babysitting her daughter, if she would sponsor me. And not at that time I said that she could be in a beauty pageant.
And what did she say?
She said she'd love to. And it was out of her business, too.
She said she would love to.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I really wish Debbie Sinha would shut up.
You know what? That's respect?
Well, you don't give me respect, Debbie.
You don't deserve it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McClain over a beauty pageant which her daughter Christina was to enter. Debbie McClain says she was paying for her daughter Casey's sponsorship, not for Deborah's daughter Christina to be in another pageant.
So when did she have a conversation with your mother?
I believe she had a conversation with my mother on the phone, seeing if it was fine, see if I asked Debbie, and then we went to her house to pick up the check.
Together?
Yes.
Does that sound right to you?
Your Honor?
Miss Sena, look at me.
Does not.
She did not speak to you first
No, she did
about
not.
it?
No, she did not. I spoke to her mother on the telephone. We were talking about sponsoring. One was contingent to the other.
No, that's not what I asked you, Miss Sena.
And, I'm sorry.
This young lady says that she asked you first to be her sponsor.
No, she did not. Her mother and I spoke about it on the telephone while I talked to her mother about having her daughter babysit for me. That's how that happened.
Okay, we don't have to take very long with this. Giving your story the best possible scenario. Okay, your story. You agreed to sponsor her, and she agreed that in the future, sometime in the future, your daughter was going to be in a pageant that she was going to run.
No, ma'am.
No, yes, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't the same pageant, it was a second pageant.
It was the Fallbrook pageant.
It was another pageant that never took place. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So the other pageant never took place. And therefore, she could not fulfill that part of even assuming your agreement unless you can establish to my satisfaction that it was owing to her fault and her fault alone, her negligence, that that second pageant didn't take place. You're at $185.
If
you sponsored her daughter. Now, I'm not 100% satisfied that both of these young ladies telling you the truth. And that includes you. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Because as sweet and as adorable as you look, I think you're a pretty good actress. That's because I have daughters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I know daughters can be pretty good actresses. But Miss Sania, I know your daughter is disappointed. I know she's unhappy. But you didn't have a writing with this lady that one was contingent on the other.
I have a witness that heard her say this in my house when I presented the check to her.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, ma'am. She's
I'd
right
like
here.
to hear the witness.
My name is, my friend's name is Maria.
Maria, you step up here. Now, Maria what?
She came over to
No, Maria what? Your
Maria
last name.
Cazares. Cazares? Your Honor, she came to Deborah's house, and we had just gotten there, and
who's we?
Me and Deborah, and she came over, and her daughter came in the house, and she says her daughter and Christina went outside to look at the pool, and she said Deborah gave her the check, and Debbie said, okay, and this is for you're sponsoring my daughter, and in return, I will put Christina in the Fallbrook pageant.
Are you telling me that she said, in return, are those the words, listen to me, are those specifically the words that you remember as you stand here under oath? You remember her saying to you, and in return, I will put your daughter?
Yes,
Maria.
I do, Your Honor.
What makes you remember that so vividly, madam?
Because it was a big thing with Christina. She was telling everybody. She was,
I didn't ask you why it was important to the child. I asked you, what makes it so clear in your mind that you can stand here today under oath and you tell me that you specifically remember her using the words, in return for?
Because I remember her saying that.
And how long ago was this?
In May.
Mm-hmm. Of this year?
Yep. Not this year, 96.
I'm not sure whether I believe that. In any event, I think that this is a sad situation. Did you write a business check for this $185?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Your Honor?
Yeah.
May I say something, please?
Sure.
When Deborah came into my home and Maria heard her, Deborah the kids were in the backyard, and she came in the house, and she took my check so fast, and she did say she's going to, in return, put my daughter into her beauty pageant.
Yep, she didn't have a beauty pageant.
And she took out.
Just
Yes,
a
she
second.
didn't.
She didn't have one. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No, but that's why I did the sponsoring.
No, but just a second. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And that's why I did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Her daughter is one of the biggest brats I've ever known in my life. She's a brat. Look at you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McClain. Deborah charges that Ms. McClain failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McClain says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And I really feel really taken, and I'm sorry that it had to be this way, because I just wouldn't be here if I didn't feel that I was, I wouldn't be...
Taken?
Right.
You think that Miss Sania feels as if she was taken? Miss McClain?
I believe she feels like she was taken.
Okay. Now, she feels as if she was taken because she was led to believe by you, led to believe that her little girl was going to have an opportunity to be in a beauty pageant. Is correct? Is that correct?
She believes, yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? Okay. And you did not fulfill that part of the agreement because you say your grandmother died.
It wasn't a part of the agreement at the time of the sponsorship.
Let us assume she believed that based upon everything, that was why she was giving you $185.
That's what she believes, yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, you say you led some credence to that because you, in your answer, say, well, the other pageant didn't take place because I had some personal problems.
I said she could be in it at no cost 2 months later. Yes, ma'am.
At no cost because you were arranging it.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you didn't arrange it.
I was unable to fulfill my obligation having the pageant, and it did upset quite a few young ladies, and it upset me that I couldn't have it.
Good.
But I did have a
But
death
none
in
of
the
those
family.
other ladies that it upset had given you $185.
Had given my daughter, yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can understand why she's upset.
Yes, ma'am, I
And you
can.
can understand why her little girl is upset.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right? All right. Miss Sania, I'm not exactly sure that I'm getting the truth, the 100% truth from you or from you. I know what you thought. I don't know you thought that you got taken, because I don't think otherwise you would have sponsored, you would have given her a check for $185. How much did you used to pay her for babysitting?
I paid her $350, and I always paid Casey really good because my daughter always liked her. And I really do feel taken.
Why didn't you save the money from babysitting for sponsor money?
Because I used all the extra, like all my babysitting money as what a regular teenager would do.
Well, why didn't you save it for your sponsorship?
Because when I was babysitting her, I really didn't think I was going to be in this beauty pageant. It was at the last minute thing.
Oh, why was it at the last minute?
Because I didn't get the entry form until late.
So that you didn't have any money?
Right, for myself.
So, and you wanted to do it very badly?
Yes, I did.
Now, now the common sense part is coming together, so that you went to her immediately.
Right.
This lady immediately.
Right.
All right. Very good. I understand.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, Miss Sania, I do believe that you are entitled to $185 from these people. I don't believe you're entitled to any more. I don't believe you're entitled to compensation for your daughter's pain and suffering or anything else. And I am dismissing your counterclaim for $2,500. So, I'm going to tell you one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Telling the truth is very important.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Some people have a special gift. They may be very dumb at certain things, but some people can tell when somebody is lying to them. It's one thing when older people lie. I don't know, sometimes I think that it's reasonable. It certainly sets a bad example. It certainly sets a bad example.
She is not lying, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure that the agreement that you two ladies made with your daughter, either present or outside the room, gave this lady the distinct impression that if she was going to shell over $185, it was with the understanding and assurance that it's a future date and a future pageant. Her little girl was going to have the same opportunity to go around and prance around on stage and be in a pageant. And that's why you showed her how to walk, showed her how to move, showed her how to do all those things. That's what the inducement was. That was the inducement.
But it was not a contingency. At the time when she sponsored my daughter, I did not even know I was going to have a beauty pageant.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of $185. That's all.
You are excused. You may step out.
That's not. Let's get out of here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
He responded, "Come on, Kristen, I can tell. You're turned on and you know you enjoy. This just go with it, this kind of thing. Happens here sometimes." After he stopped talking, Jonathan gave Kristen a gentle kiss. She moaned and his hand continued moving under her skirt, which was one of the shortest I had ever seen her wear, and definitely one I had never seen before. From the angle of the video, it was clear she wasn't wearing any underwear when Jonathan leaned back. Stephen reached out and pulled Kristen onto his lap. She tried to resist, but he kept pulling until she was sitting on him. He unbuttoned her top and began doing that. Kristen told him to stop, saying stop that. Stephen then said to Jonathan, Jonathan, you know what needs to be done to get the union's endorsement. I want a weekend with this lady. If you arrange that, I'll make sure the union supports your campaign. Kristen tensed up and tried to get up, saying, no, that's never going to happen. Let me go. Stephen just looked at Jonathan and raised his eyebrows while still holding Kristen on his lap and continuing to touch her. Jonathan swallowed hard, leaned into Kristen and said, honey, we really need this endorsement. Please just go with him and help me out. This will secure our future, and it's not like you've never had closeness before. Just tell your husband you have a weekend meeting. Kristen looked shocked and hesitated for a moment, but then she relaxed. She spread her legs wider to make it easier for Stephen. She moaned, turned her head towards him, and they kissed. She reached the peak while sitting on his lap, screaming and collapsing against him with her legs spread open. By then, many men in the club were more focused on Kristen than on the dancers. Around this time, the club manager came over to the table. He looked at Kristen, then at the men next to her. He seemed nervous and said, Mr. Nagano, I've overlooked a lot for you, but I've been warned that things have gotten too obvious. Lieutenant Jones told me the chief has asked some Detective Ives to come to the club and crack down on this kind of behavior. If they catch us allowing this, they'll shut us down. Can you please take it to a back row or the hotel? This is my only source of income. Stephen laughed and looked at a big man on the other side of the table. He said, hey, Ralph, give Joe here a couple grand for his trouble. My lady and I are heading to the DoubleTree for the weekend. Could you make the arrangements for us? Set it up as an executive meeting for the union like usual. I felt my anger rising and started to get up. I growled that lying which she was away last weekend. She called me Friday night and said she had an emergency project for her job and was flying to San Francisco. Terry and Simon grabbed me and forced me back into my seat. Simon said, please wait. I want to show you another clip before you read the report. We have some ideas about this we want to discuss with you, but I thought you should see the DVD first. My operative stopped filming at the club and called for backup. My team got to the DoubleTree before Stanley did. After Stanley checked in, he and Kristen went to the bar for drinks. My operatives followed them in hotel uniforms. When they opened the door, my team went in with them. After Stanley's guys checked out the suite, my men tidied up the room. Simon smiled and continued. The senior man even sent his assistant to get fresh flowers and more champagne, so they had a reason to linger. We set up several cameras and microphones in the main room and both bedrooms. By the time your wife and Stanley returned to the suite, they were both drunk. The cameras captured these scenes. Among others, Simon started playing the DVD on his laptop. Kristen and Stanley walked into the suite and shut the door. She was laughing and rubbing him. Stanley bent down, kissed her, and then violently ripped open her blouse, sending buttons flying. He pushed the blouse down off her shoulders as Kristen pulled down her skirt. Once her skirt was on the floor, she let her blouse fall beside it. From earlier pictures at the club, I knew she wasn't wearing any underwear, so she was practically naked. She kicked off her shoes, took Stephen's hand, and giggled as she led him toward the largest bedroom in the king-sized bed. After several minutes, we saw another male figure walk into the picture. It was the director of the city. We heard him say, "Easy, honey, you just relax and enjoy another nice Johnson, Jonathan," and you agreed that I got a weekend with you for an endorsement. Now me and the boys are going to enjoy it if you just relax. You'll never want to go back to that little limp Johnson of Jonathan's. After Simon turned off his computer, he looked at me and said, "Your wife stayed in that hotel room until checkout time on Monday. During that time, she was intimate with all the senior managers of the Municipal Workers Union and with Stephen. We overheard plans to use union money and paid union workers to support Jonathan's mayoral campaign late on Saturday night. Jonathan, the director, and Stephen all had closeness with Kristen. We have photos and recordings of them planning to misuse city funds if Jonathan is elected. We also have pictures of Senator Newsom and 2 judges being intimate with your wife and Jonathan Douglas. The recordings show Jonathan was exchanging her favors for their endorsements. The investigator paused before continuing. He said, "When you tried to catch your wife and Mr. Douglas at the campaign dinner, they were about to have closeness on stage. He had her dress pulled down. They were just starting when she heard you and made him stop. That's why they ran." We have pictures of what happened there as well. It would have been more damaging if you hadn't intervened. Pictures of that act with the crowd in the background would have been very damaging. At least you didn't cause a scene that would have hurt your case further. We've given you a copy of the entire file and can provide one to your attorney if you want. Our investigation fees cover any local court testimony if needed. However, I suggest we continue surveillance for possible criminal charges while it's usually up to the police. If we give the police and the FBI evidence of campaign fund misuse and conspiracy, they'll take it more seriously. Plus, if you pursue a divorce and your wife ends up in jail, you'll likely get a better settlement. Even though I knew this was coming, I was still deeply shaken and surprised. I couldn't believe how low and disrespectful my wife had acted during the surveillance period. The documents revealed she believed she was in love with Jonathan, and they were discussing how and when she would leave me. She was excited about a promised position in Jonathan's administration if he became mayor. What shocked me even more was her willingness to spend the weekend at the DoubleTree and perform some acts for Jonathan and his friends. Some of the things Kristen did with Jonathan were things she had always refused to do with me. Often she was the one initiating these acts. Later in the weekend, I had always known Kristen was ambitious and admired powerful people, but I couldn't believe the extent of her willingness to advance her career. It made me feel physically sick. I barely ate my meal, and I noticed Terry didn't eat much either. After the investigator left, we had several drinks. We sat quietly, lost in our own thoughts, until Terry said, "Stan, I'm really sorry for ruining your marriage. I take full responsibility for what happened, and I want to make it right. I know I can't undo what's happened, but I'll do everything I can to help you. I'll find you a great lawyer for